Rolling on a Thursday, the 19th, in the month of June.
In the year of
our Lord.
Of the
rat.
No.
It's got to be year of the rat.
No, it's the year of the
octopus.
Yes.
No, it's the climb trees. Monkey.
Climb trees. White Lotus. Monkeys.
Got it. Brought to you by Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in on the game, use that promo code NATION when you sign up if you've not already. And please play it responsibly. And throughout the course of the show today, money raised goes to the Youth Centers of Calgary. The money is, of course, your donations if you see fit during the course of the show.
It's going to get you on the show.
It's the year of the lynx. You know that big stupid cat up in Edmonton?
Oh, the one that scares the kids? The mascot? Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah. It's nightmare fuels what it is.
It's just a bad design.
Apparently up in Edmonton, they're having their, we're done playing hockey for the year. So we're ready to leave for the summer. We need to talk to the media first.
Where are they putting that parade? Because I know they were talking about that last week.
Yeah. It's still in the planning stage.
No, everyone's telling me second's great.
There's, you know what? There's the city of Edmonton plans things out and takes their time with it. We jump in like in Marteloup here, just make it up as we go.
Planning stage.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's nothing to be ashamed of second place. There's a lot of teams this league. It's hard to win. Everyone talks about how many second place finishes Tiger had, how many second place in majors Roger Federer has. I think kudos are in order.
Right.
I thought you were going to throw to me in that video of Brett Hull.
No.
Oh.
I was
that was second too.
Rhett just sat down at the table here. I was going through the old Twitter machine, and it's like, June 19th, 1999, on this date, Brett Hull scores cup-winning overtime. Oh shit! I hope he doesn't see it. That's not today, is it? Oh shit!
Did you really hope I didn't see it? Because it seemed like you put it on full screen and pressed play.
If he really wanted you to see it, he would have sent it to Jack, and Jack had then pressed play on it, and we'd watch it now. He wouldn't do that.
Usually you have small screen. It went the whole screen.
Did it go full screen?
I thought maybe you were just trying to determine if Hull's foot was actually in the crease.
Yeah, I think we all knew that it was.
Yeah, parallax angle. Is it same for that one too?
I think so. Yeah, it's the Bettman angle.
I'm that's more the angle.
I mean, they just started celebrating and
hey, open the gates, come on out.
Well,
well,
Fox in the hen house now, guys. We can't undo this.
How can we do better than triple overtime Stanley Cup championship?
It's game over, guys.
It's a great fitting into a story. Yeah.
By the way, we're just going to explain that rule. That's always been allowed. Huh? No,
we don't have a problem with it. Well, great.
Congrats to Dallas.
Yeah. Nothing more satisfying than watching Darian Hatcher lift the cup. Big dumb mutant.
Huge galoot.
Broke my
I shouldn't say dumb.
2 galoots. His brother.
More galoots. On the show today, Jamie McLennan will join us.
Oh, really?
He did not have to go to Edmonton for a game 7.
Saved him for tomorrow.
So he flew home to his well-guarded estate.
Do you think he went out partying?
I don't know.
It's Sniffle. Snivel?
So he's got some Panther roots.
Yes, he's an alumni.
Yeah, he and Bobby Lou. Thick as thieves, those guys, aren't they?
Oh, Lou.
Remember those videos they had? It's like, oh, look at Jamie McLennan and Roberto Luongo. These two goalies, they get along and they're friends.
That might have been the most entertaining goalie duo of all time.
Might have been.
Like Luongo, we didn't realize was funny until Twitter came out, and then his undercover Strombone account got discovered. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's hilarious. Because all those press conferences, like, is he joking? Is he weird? He's very serious. Or is he being serious?
Just loosen up, fellas.
And then you're on Twitter, you're like, this guy's a riot.
Just have some fun.
He's putting the toilet emoji out when he has to poo at the intermission. Yeah. This guy's unreal. Noodles is great. Everyone loves Noodles.
The games, he might want a cup for himself.
Let's ask Jamie about that.
Did you see his tweet when they secured the championship?
I don't Twitter or tweet.
So he had a picture of Marchand with the cup, I believe, hoisting it. And you had told us about Marchand's tattoo.
No, I didn't.
Where he had champion spelt wrong?
Not me.
Nope.
Oh, really? That's not been on the show?
No.
Nope.
So Luongo just says champion, and he spells it.
You brought it up yesterday about the champions, or my favorite player, because we didn't talk about that on this show.
Okay. I thought we'd mentioned that on the show.
Wow, we do so much.
I believe he has a tattoo that has champion, like Stanley Cup champion, but it's spelled wrong.
I think he's fixed it, but yeah, when he had it done back in
And so-
2011,
So Luongo just wrote champion and spelled it wrong. And you're like,
ANS at
he's
the end,
funny.
yeah. But he also had the he was at after game 2, the OT winner.
Yeah.
Luongo, my favorite player ever.
Always. Yeah.
It's like, well, he was putting in your tuchus in
11.
2011.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. See how funny he is?
We should replay that. And
Yeah, that's a reel right there. You
like
could
that is
clip that. That'll go viral.
Yep.
You're welcome,
Oh,
guys.
My ribs are sore from that laugh.
Yeah, ab workout today.
Cancel it now after that.
Mm.
Got your core work done. Yeah, so we'll talk the Noodles coming up. We so the Oilers are doing their I think they're doing other things in Florida, the Panthers. I think they're still that's locker cleanout
I
day.
don't know if it's because I'm jealous, but I don't even like to hear I don't want to hear about it damaging the cup and partying. I think it's just jealousy.
I enjoy a good bender. I don't think they're done yet because I'd still be going. I'd be hitting the wall right about now. What are we, 36 hours
No,
out?
here, that was,
These guys are well-conditioned athletes.
shouldn't talk
They're
about it.
powering through today. Maybe tomorrow they sober up. Not today. It's too soon.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, I would die after one night.
Yeah. Where do you sneak your
And
naps?
then you
in?
think back into when you were playing, you're like, no. You thought
could
you were
flourish.
indestructible and
Yes.
you could go forever and you would do anything and everything to keep going.
Yeah, you've been taking cross checks from Evander Kane for 2 weeks. You can handle 2 nights out in a row or days out.
Do you think even that team, because you know what it's like when you have your coworkers or whatever, it's the Christmas party or it's whatever.
Yeah, we have a great Christmas.
Great Christmas party. But I would think even when you're a tight group like that,
Yeah.
when people get drunk,
Oh, there's
because like
A lot of
I
hugging.
love this guy, you're my brother, but
Mhm.
you're terrible when you drink.
yeah,
So it's
get,
like I'm
get
down for
Regier and
partying with the
Igla
cup.
arguing. Oh.
But what are you guys doing right now? Okay, I'm gonna shower and change my clothes, maybe grab a nap. You guys go and play laser tag or whatever it is you're going to do, and I'll meet up with you.
What would be on Dean's lists of things he would participate in is a great question.
I think he'd give it a good 3, 4, 5 floor session after the game, and then he'd go and you'd be happy with a very nice sleep and a huge breakfast.
Yeah, not a big breakfast guy, but I would get the sleep in for sure. And then I'd just, hey, so what are you guys doing?
What the hell's wrong with you? Don't
You at the beach?
Elbow room? Okay, I'll
Still there.
slide down.
Yeah, you could stop at the Elbow Room or a live music venue. You'd
Yeah.
be good with that. You love the Rippers, so you'd go to the Rippers for sure.
Peelers guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
huge,
Loves the ballet.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supporter of the arts.
But then, yeah, like
Because we talk about, I just say, because we talk about it. Boys are stupid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess some of them are getting older now, but I just feel like there'd be some young, dumb, drunk guys.
Yeah.
These guys, they're just, it's stupid
well, even the
right now.
chant.
Why did he go full screen on me there?
Even the chant the other day from the Elbow Room.
Yeah.
8 more, whatever.
8 more years.
Eight
Yeah,
more
for a
years.
minute.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
We have more chanting from the elbow room on the Pinder Report as well. They haven't stopped.
Still chanting. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And
This
so-
one I'm
Forever a flame. I'm partial to this one.
this one I'm a little more
Yeah.
fond of. But so anyway, have you taken in any Oiler chat in the last day?
Apparently,
They
our
signed
show
together.
is the place where they gather. I heard the chat was on fire yesterday. I didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to see it. Jack,
No, I didn't watch.
a lot of super chats.
Some people yesterday were trying to. Some Oiler fans yesterday were trying to be upbeat about things.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
no, F you. Like you've asked for a little pie in your face, a little mud, and whatever you want. You ran your mouth. You acted like it putz.
Mhm.
You tattooed. You painted. You fought.
You mohawked.
You
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
enjoy.
You danced.
Enjoy your rewards. Common theme also I've been finding is that most people that don't cheer for the Oilers actually don't dislike the team. It's kind of like I said the other day.
Yeah.
It's the fans.
Yeah,
that
I
they
feel
were
sorry for-
disgusted with. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the German and McDavid. I really do.
The team, Corey Perry's got my respect now. Like that's amazing.
I know that's weird, isn't it?
I don't like that.
But the people that surround the team, no bueno.
Yeah.
And that's common throughout all others that don't like the team or cheer for the Oilers. Like, it's nothing against the team.
I had an Oilers fan tell me that second is something to celebrate, and it's amazing and it's incredible. And I was
Oh.
like, literally, I work with a man, and he does not sleep well decades later because of second place finishes. Do
enjoy
not
it.
tell me that seconds are what we're counting. That there's there's a conference title banner. Sorry, that's not pro sports.
Wow, you talked about a parade. Maybe they're not doing the parade, but they're going to do that stupid gathering of fan and
Olympic
we just
Plaza.
wanna
I'm
say
sorry
thank
about
you
that.
for finishing first, last, whatever the
Yeah.
hell. Beat it.
Because I know that because I'm looking at Bet365 right now, and they have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Oilers
Plus 700.
Plus 700
I don't see it.
to win the cup next year. Other places have the Oilers, just the outright favorite.
Mm.
But in just listening to I'm Elliot Friedman's of the world,
Elliot.
there's some, much like our conversation yesterday, it's like, I don't know, it's getting older and your cap space and Bouchard deals and this sort of thing.
It's getting harder, and their depth wasn't good enough. So that's the challenge for me if you're going to say they're going to run it back.
And then,
And you're going to ask McDavid to take a pay cut. So
well, that's the other part.
It's looming.
Is the McDavid thing. If he's going to leave, which I don't think he's going to, but if he's going to, would it behoove him to tell them sooner than later? 1 year left on the deal.
To be clear, he doesn't have to tell them anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have
July
to do
1, they say, hey, Connor, write down a number and tell us, and we'll say yes. And then if he doesn't write down a number, they know.
isn't it 20%? Isn't there a
That's a max salary. So the salary cap
Why
this
in
year,
the F would he
shouldn't make less than 20%.
shouldn't make less than 20%? And I think that makes it real tough for the Oilers, but he has done good by the Oilers.
If he is not a max salary player, there never, ever will be one in the NHL.
Yeah.
And he should be. And so the cap in the first year of his new deal, not this year, but next, will be $104.5 million. So 20% would come in right over 20 million, like a hair over. That sounds about right.
Because I was thinking about the decision-making process. If you're McDavid, what does it look like? What does it sound like? It's like, okay, well, there's three guys here that are going to make big money or do it. So Leon, Boosh, whatever your first name is, let's just sit down before we head out for the summer.
Yeah.
Like you got to sign this summer right now. You need a deal.
Leon still kicks in next year. Boosh, you got a deal this summer.
Could you just tap the brakes? So you need a deal right away, and my deal's up right now. And I was like, what if we all three what if we just take less? Because that'll keep more money for Stan to go out and add some players.
Mm-hmm.
And Boosh has got his eyes close to his. I don't know if I like that very much.
Leon didn't.
Well, Leon, how about you? Well, I kind of signed for
14
a lot last year. I'm already. Oh, because I thought
top of market.
Oh, you signed already? Yeah, kicks in next year. For how much? 14. Ooh, fuck.
Highest paid player in the league. 14.
Did you sign that already? Yeah. So you can't really take less to. I wish you'd have talked to me sooner. Maybe a year ago I'd have. Oh,
jeez.
And what about you, Boosh? What are you thinking,
Mr. Arbrights?
Well, I have a chance to be one of the highest paid D in the league, and there's no telling, because if you fuck off, then probably my production goes down a lot. Feels like this is the prime time for me to seize on a big payday.
He's thinking, well,
you're probably not wrong, Boosh. You're probably not wrong. Huh. So then it's on me, right, to take less? Yeah, kind of. Okay. And is it also on me to be the best player and lead everyone to victory?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Yeah.
Could you do that?
To stay in Edmonton?
Yeah, if I stay here, I need to take less and carry all you guys.
City, weather, taxes.
Right.
I could see why you take less.
Okay, well, let me I'll marinate on it. Let me think about it for a little bit.
There's been other guys too. I mean, Darnell Nurse clearly took. Sorry. No one's been taking less. Trent Frederic didn't take less yesterday.
Nope.
Is that done?
No, we don't know the number, but it's done. So they haven't announced the terms, but it's an 8-year deal between 3.5 and 4 a year.
Yeah, Jim Matheson saying 8 times 4. I don't.
Someone else is saying a hair under 4. It probably comes in at like 3.8 or something.
We talked about it yesterday. You gave up a lot to get Trent Frederic, so you probably want to keep the guy.
He's got to be better than he showed as an Oiler, or it's a horrible signing. And I think he will be, because he was well regarded in Boston, but he just didn't have a good playoffs. He had 15 points this year.
Come on.
56 games, but 15 points.
Injured.
And all that production was before the big injury, I believe, that cost him the last third of the
Not
season.
a move.
It's not a core piece in my mind.
Connor can do what Connor wants. If he wants to stay in Edmonton, he can. If he wants to make 20%, he can make 20.
Did his old agent take less when he came in to be president of the Oilers?
It's whether he wants to stay in Edmonton is the only question. It's not. What is he going to worry? I'm going to get 160 or 150 million. Well, okay, 10's a lot, sure,
Yeah.
but 7 times 20, I guess, is 140 million instead of 100.
Yeah.
But you think that when that contract's over in 7 years, he's not going to make anything in year 8?
Or you go full Austin Matthews, say, I'm just going to take 20 for 4 years, guys. I'll jump back in when the cap's 130 and make 25.
Yeah, he can. But that's just it.
If he
can
wants.
do what he wants.
Yeah.
It's just, and for us, without having a house or having the fans that praise you in Edmonton, or a significant other that's got
The Pink Pony restaurant, whatever it is.
whatever, then I don't know. What am I going to tell him?
I don't
Get the F
imagine.
out of there is what I'd tell him. Find
Like
the
to your
agent.
point, I don't think he leaves. Maybe it's a shorter term deal, right? But I can't imagine, as frustrated as he is right now, that he's actually thinking,
Why?
that guy. There's some Sid vibes to me with him.
That's
It's just
fine,
I'm
you're right,
loyal
and
to the
that's totally
team
fine, but
and-
it's not a rational.
Oh no, of
Like,
course. I just mean that guy feels to me
Yeah.
like he's wired to stay.
I would agree with you if he had been given the Sid treatment, which was surround me with the right pieces and have 2 cups already, because that's where Sid was at
No,
his
he
age.
wasn't. He had one fair.
We went back to back.
They lost to Detroit.
They
They,
played-
they didn't win back to back till he was 15 years into his career almost.
Yeah, that's right. They won 1 and then 2. Okay, so he's and look, like those were well-run Pittsburgh teams,
but
if I could say so.
and it's also different. Well, whatever. We can point out all the differences. It doesn't make a difference. Connor gets to do what Connor wants.
And before they have to pay Connor, they can't even bring everyone back on a team that needs to improve its depth. They have less than $8 million cap space,
That's
and they don't have Bouchard signed. So how can you be better if you don't even have the money right now for Bouchard?
I don't know how they get better because they don't, from my understanding, and you know me, I do the round.
You do, yeah.
Who's up and coming in the system? Because it's the only way that you can fill holes for cheap.
Who's their 23-year-old Anton Lundell that's coming in on the cheap?
Or
to
you're
play
going to
big
get
minutes?
$1 million cast-offs that aren't going to help you, and you just prove you can't win with just Draisaitl and McDavid and Bouchard, no matter what they're being paid.
So let's say even Kapanen and Klimberg could sustain what we saw.
We got to go.
Yeah.
Real quick. Those guys are going to
Right,
come
right,
back for
right,
more
right.
than league minimum. Sorry, they've earned it.
Great, thanks. Our next guest, he's our insider.
Ask him.
Remember, I texted. It's like, so what's your gut? Is the series done in 6, or are we going to 7? And he says, I feel like 7, but I've been wrong on everything.
God bless him.
This is the guy we need on right now. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating.
Tell us he's thinking.
George Costanza.
10% off a new air conditioner, 1 year of free preventative maintenance. It's still June. You got all summer to enjoy that air conditioner. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating. Crystal clear choice for home comfort. CrystalClearCalgary.com is the website. Nostradamus joins us.
Nostradamus.
Jamie McLennan.
What's up, guys?
How we
Thank you
doing?
for that, by the way.
You guys are making my head pop off. Listen to this nonsense. You're like, they don't have depth. They don't have all this stuff. I'm like, my God, like, McDavid. You don't think McDavid is going to stay? Like,
How did they bring everyone back, Noodles? They don't even have money for Bouchard right now. Like, tell me how the cap works.
I
get
think they
that
can
the
stay.
trade-
I just don't know if they
that's
can.
going up $7 million, right?
They have less than 8 left, and Bouchard does not have a deal.
The cap's going up $7 million, right?
Yeah, and they've given that all to
Let him
Draisaitl already.
talk.
Just
So
Don't
just
fight.
let me talk. You think that Evander Kane's going to be on the team next year?
Hope not.
So what are you stapling to him to get rid of him?
You can work that out. That's
Okay.
$5 million that you'll sort out, right?
Right? Yep. So
Now
that's
we're
now you're
starting
12.
at 13, right?
just calm
Right?
down.
So then they have people in the system. Savoy will come up. He's a good young player. They also can do something like you're letting Jeff Skinner go. Maybe you package Arvidsson. I don't know. You could probably still keep him. Maybe a healthy Zach Hyman would help. Maybe a healthy Ryan Nugent-Hopkins might help. Broken hand. Maybe a healthy Matthias Ekholm can help. I thought the Walman trade is very good. They do have players that you can let Klingberg go, and you are going to bring people up. Like, it's not like this team is a dumpster fire. This is the thing that people are like, oh, that's like, it's not a dumpster fire at all. If anything, like, the depth wasn't a problem against Dallas or Vegas or who else? LA.
Mm-hmm.
The depth was a problem when Mark Marchand showed up in Florida, and all of a sudden that third line was a killer. So, you know, I would say it starts in net. That's the, when I look at Edmonton, I don't think you can bring the two goaltenders back. I think you bring one, but the problem is Pickard might be the guy who gets screwed out of this because he makes $1 million. So really what you should be doing is trying to chase somebody who can replace Stuart Skinner, because I don't know if you want, you know, it might be scar tissue to bring him back, because if there is an injury, he might be in the same position next year. So I think there's a lot more flexibility. I guess where I would disagree with you guys, there's a lot more flexibility than you think, because it's not like they can't move some pieces around to find money for Bouchard. To also, they do have a boat anchor and Nurse's contract. There's nothing you can do about that, right? But I think there is more flexibility than you guys think. That was my point. Is yes, on paper.
Is there enough flexibility to make the difference to get them over the top against, because they've
been to the final in two straight years.
Finals 2 straight years. They should have lost to LA, in my opinion. They screwed it up, but that's fine. You won. You can't. It's easy to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. But right. Why aren't other teams going to be better next year? And how is Edmonton improving? Who is Edmonton bringing in aside from a goaltender? Which, good luck. It's easy to say we're going to go get a superstar goaltender.
You don't need a superstar goaltender. You need somebody that can. I don't know. I'll give you an example. Could you get Elvis Merzlikins?
Does he make a difference when it matters?
Has he been good the last 6 years?
No, yeah, but was Seth Jones good in Columbus?
Well, I mean, goalie's different beast. I'm just
saying, Merzlikins very talented goaltender.
Merzlikins going to make more money.
Aiden Hill won a cup.
Yeah, they make $2 million.
And so that's, again, I don't have a problem with the team. I think the team's good. I think the issue is when Connor's making a decision to stay or go, he's not saying, are we good in 25, 26? And so you look at the age of the roster, the dearth of prospects, and the cap situation. I don't know how you could make a case that this team's built to win in years 3, 4, 5, 6. He's making a 9-year commitment if he gets max term.
I don't even know. Here's the thing. I think Connor does have a Sid vibe, but it's not a Sid that I want to be here the whole organization. I want to be here as long. I want to deliver a cup, and then all bets are off. That's really what I've thought about. Is I thought we'd be having this conversation a lot different if they won, because if they win and when they win, or if and when all of that, I think, you know, Connor delivers what he said he wanted to do, and that's a cup to Edmonton. So his best friend signed long-term. His other best friend, he got him the $9 million contract. They've hired his agent as the president. They hired his junior coach as the coach. What else can you do? If you just want to hand him and say, you start signing people. Like, at some point, maybe Connor McDavid, and I think it's going to come out that he was injured too, because he didn't have that explosiveness.
He was not good.
I'd be shocked that he doesn't have some form of like groin. What's the stomach one? Hernia. That I'd be shocked if he didn't have something. I don't know if they would release that, but I think that, like, I think people need to, like, in Edmonton, need to breathe and go, it's a pretty damn good team. What they need to do is continue to, like, they need. If I had a wish list, 2 things. You need a goaltender that you could trust, okay? And, you know, they're and you could argue, well, they got goaltending right to Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. But I'm saying just a different look, because I live in Toronto and they had the same look for 9 years. Like, that's the definition of insanity, is bumping up again and saying it's going to be different next year. It's going to be, you have to take the chance that it will be different. I made a list of goaltenders that you could potentially even look at. And I don't even think you need an upgrade. I think you need a lateral move, somebody who can make saves that you trust, like predictable saves, okay? So that's why I brought in, I said Merlikins. Gibson, I wouldn't trust him one bit. He makes 6.4 for 2 more years. Even if Anaheim made him a $3 million goaltender, he's left the net 19 times in the last 18 months, either for injury or pull. Binnington, again, wish list. Don't think it'll happen. Demko Lankinen, because somebody in Vancouver's got to give, because Sheloffs needs waivers next year, and that guy's putting a clinic on in the AHL. He's not going to make it through waivers next year. So he's going to have to play for Vancouver. They're going to have to trade him. Tristan Jarry needs a reset. Maybe it's a different scenario for him. Was an all-star not that long ago, and he's a late 20s goaltender. Another guy that's going to be it'll be polarizing because we don't know the outcome yet, but Carter Hart is another guy who'll be available. If, again, I'm not going to even head into that direction, but he's another goaltender. And the other one is Philip Grubauer. I'm just throwing names. I made a list.
But okay, great. And I'm going to argue with you because, and I guess this is what GMs have to do is right. Hope and a prayer that all the moves that you make out, because that's what you're talking about. You're talking about, okay, we're going to hopefully make a move. It doesn't sound like a great plan. And I don't, well, first of all, I don't think Bouchard is ever going to help you I don't know. He's Carlson to me, and everyone's like, "Oh, Erik Karlsson, one hell of a defenseman." Well, and you know what Erik Karlsson hasn't done?
Mathot. And they didn't have their healthy Mathot. That's really what they needed, and that's Ekholm. Like,
but Ekholm's getting old. Like I don't. Their ages, start getting hurt. Like those things start to compile, and you don't bounce back as good. You know that this is a very old team.
They were the oldest in the league.
Exactly. That's my issue with them. You can't question McDavid and Draisaitl. Their goaltending isn't good enough, and they've got no youth to fill in. You have to have kids come along and take spots because they're cheaper, and they got to be able to contribute. Savoy was supposed to be good. From what I heard, it's not going to.
Third line winger, maybe?
Very questionable whether. How do you have a 5'7" third line winger? I don't know. But maybe you're playing with McDavid. Maybe that all changes. Maybe it makes it easier, right? Play with better players. It's easier to play. I just don't. You can put this roster up, and I don't see why. Why are they at the top of the list? And I guess it's because of Draisaitl and McDavid.
But if you look at it against Dallas, for example, we were on this 2 weeks ago against Dallas, and they were winning games. Draisaitl and McDavid were nowhere near the game. Like it was Kane. It was other guys. You know, it was Janmark. It was Podkolzin. Like it was like it was. It's funny how their depth is a problem now, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
It's not. It's to me. It's that they lost. They're older. Their goaltendings, and guess what?
Right.
Everyone else in the league wants to get better too. So it's easy if you're an Oiler honk. Oh well, we're just going to be better because we went to the guy. Oh, we're going to. No. Guess what the other teams are doing? They're trying to improve too. So it's all fine and good. We'll build off what we. Oh, doesn't always like
3 is
there's no guarantee. Like I agree, there's no guarantee that they're just because they're going back to the Cup next year. No, like there's no guarantee of that at all. Are they a very good team? Yes, but I think
they will always be competitive because of the players they have. That's it.
Right. But the players that they have too under contract, like it's McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, RNH. Like we forget, like those contracts are really valuable at $5 million, right? Like as much as you think you overpaid for other guys, like you've got a RNH who's, I think he's a help player.
I don't know where they're overpaying these guys so much. Like aside from Nurse, who's overpaid?
Well, they're paying Jack Campbell to not play hockey. That was
like they'll have to sort. Like my point is I think they're going to have money once you start to see like they might buy out Evander Kane.
Look what they've done with their money. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, my thought, Noodles, is that yes, this is a good team. We acknowledge they're the oldest in the league. They cannot afford to even bring back this team. And now you're talking about a lateral move in net that takes away more cap space. Like, how are you going to add talent if you have to cut from the group as it stands?
I think what you need to do, and this is just me, having been around Florida, like, think about this, okay? A couple of years ago, Bill Zito, their team won the President's Trophy. Jonathan Huberdeau was a 115-point player. And Bill Zito said, we're here. We need to change something, okay? So he goes and he gets Matthew Tkachuk, and you could argue that that changed the dynamic of his whole organization, okay? Even though they were really good and really, I mean, they were unbelievable. But it was Sergei Bobrovsky was a boat anchor. That we got to get rid of the Alex Lyons playing net.
Mhm.
What's going on here? What my whole point about all of this is, I think as a manager sometimes, safe is death. So I think you need to swing sometimes and go. So I brought up that list. You're right. Like I'm just talking like goaltenders. Yes, it's not the most sexiest. I like Jordan Binnington. So I think, but again, wish list. You have to trade a king's ransom to get him. All of that. Who knows if Army even wants to move him? So let's move away from that. But I'm saying those other guys, sometimes a change of scenery, you fit better. And I've always said that my whole theory with the Oilers goaltending was that none of them were clean butterflies. None of them were just structurally really sound. It's just like, hey, I'm big and I get hit, and Pickard, I just move around the net and I'm aggressive. Like, to me, sometimes the lateral, like, change is change. That's so I guess that was my point, Rhett. Yeah, Vasilevsky's not available. You're not trading for a $10 million goaltender and saying, okay, now we're done. But what you are is you're always trying. And you're trying, and I'll look at Colorado. Now, Colorado didn't do anything this year, but halfway through the season, they said, no, we're not doing it. Two. Like, what you're doing is you're telling your organization, we're trying here. Now, McKinnon might be pissed because it's like, hey, traded my best buddy away, Mikko Rantanen, and we saw how that worked out. Right. So I guess my point is more about arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I'm an arguing for. But I think they need change. And you're right. Like, they can't afford to bring this group back. But why would you? You never got over the hill. You need to get over the hill and keep trying with the core that you have, and then keep pushing and being proactive and maybe wildly crazy. Like that's
how can they be wildly crazy? I'm not. This isn't an argument. So two things. Connor gets to decide whatever he wants, and if we're all right that he feels like a Sid guy, he's going to stay and this and that. But if he's not exactly committed, if he doesn't sign July 1st, what message does that send to the organization? And you talk about moving Huberdeau at 115 points. Well, then that means they have to trade Draisaitl, because that's your big move.
What about
right? Like, what about
Bouchard?
That's the chip.
If you feel like he's not wired to, and we've talked about it,
You said it.
He can be hard, and it's maybe unfair to him because he's supremely talented. But to watch him sometimes, you wonder about that gear. He is a guy. There's big cap money there, and if you feel like when we get over this hump, he's not a guy that's going to help be there pulling the rope, maybe that's the tough decision you make.
Here's a crazy one. And again, it would never happen. So please do not. I got radioed yesterday with something stupid on a headline.
Nice.
But what if you did something crazy? Like, I don't know, buy Nurse Out, like something crazy.
You can't, because it's his buddy. That's the problem, is because you're trying to keep these guys. Anyway, sorry.
I know. I don't even know what that Pinder. I don't even know what that number would look
Not
like.
pretty, because he's got a bunch of term left. So you're double the term. You're going to be paying a lot of money for 8 years. And this is how they got here, Noodles. It was buying out Jack Campbell, which was a bad signing. It was buying out James Neal, which was a trade because of a bad signing in Lucic. It's just all these little mistakes have compounded for 10 years to where you're spending a lot of your cap on either players or dead money. And that's how you arrive a decade without a cup.
Like, it feels hard, but I just to see the other side. I'll be. No one would have thought that Logan Thompson would be a difference maker in that. 2 years ago, you probably could have gotten him for nothing, right? Aiden Hill,
but he also
just
could
a
be
guy.
horse shit next year,
right? But
you're right, but I guess my point is, I believe in trying to get better, change. Like, I think staying the same is death. I've witnessed it here 9 years. The Leafs have unbelievable regular seasons. On a Tuesday night in November, man, story of the league. Look awesome, behind the back plays, all of these types of things. And then when the game shrinks, like it's different, right? So I guess we can argue, because you could try and just piecemeal this team back together, the Edmonton Oilers, and they probably could be a 100-point team, no problem, next year, make the playoffs and win some rounds because Connor and Leon decide to go nuts. And regardless of, right now we're speaking ill of Evan Bouchard, they don't make it past LA if he doesn't bat that puck out of the air. Yeah. They don't make it, like he's an impact guy. Look at his points per game, all of that type of stuff. My whole thing is, you identify, and Pinder, you're right. The money you're going to have to move around. You're going to have to be creative, but it's how you spend your money. Like, identify one or two things. For me, it's goaltending, and it's somebody to play with Draisaitl. That Draisaitl consistent. Now, maybe it's RNH. You needed RNH to have a better season because he didn't have a great season. But maybe it's, you can try and find somebody that clicks with Leon Draisaitl, because Hyman clicks with McDavid and he makes $5 million, and they found him, and you got to find somebody. For 4 games out of 10, Kapanen looked like he could do it with Draisaitl because he can keep up. But the problem is here. And I said this, and I know I'm getting long-winded, I apologize, but I said, like, I was in the building watching these games, and there was 2 things that stood out between Florida and Edmonton. Yes, like, there's depth. Obviously, Bobrovsky, the goaltender, yes. Like, let's leave the goaltender alone. Courage was one of them, and hockey IQ was the other. And I'm even throwing a third, systematic, we'll call it coaching or however you want to play it, like systematic discipline, we'll call it. One, I said courage. Game 6, I watched guys on Edmonton bail out of hits, and I was like, what? It's game 6, and you're on a 50-50 puck. It's like, not sure I want to take that hit. I'm like, you better take that hit. And so that was one thing. You find, because everybody on Florida was wired with courage. Yeah. And there wasn't fights. It's not a scary place out there anymore. Yeah, could you get hurt when you get hit? Sometimes, yeah. So that was one thing. 2, IQ. How many low IQ plays did we see Edmonton make? Now, Florida forced them into those scenarios because of how well they played on top of them. But safe, okay, Matthias Ekholm is a really good defenseman who moves the puck very efficiently. That first goal, he throws a grenade over to Bouchard that hits him in the pant. Bouchard bumbles it, tries it back. Then Reinhart turns the puck over. Ekholm gets walked, and then you don't get a save from the goaltender. So, like, that's all encompassing. It's like, who made that play? Was it great Reinhart, or was it really dumb Edmonton play?
Well, the puck went up the wall. The winger didn't get it out before it went back to Ekholm, who blubbled the pass, and Bouchard moved the wrong direction. Should have been hinging underneath Bouchard or underneath Ekholm, not advancing up, making the tough passer, which forced Ekholm to rush a pass to try to get past the forward checker, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. But I just, even the second goal, Bouchard up the ice, it's a low percentage play. He's just going to kick it wide, but you know that they got great sticks. Last minute, you got a flat play, and it turns the other way. So again, the rate to think the game. How many guys would you go, like, especially on the back end? Like, I don't think Nurse has the. This
is one of the major issues, is that you had better get a real good goaltender, because Nurse.
Right. I like Walman. I really like Walman.
I think Walman's horse shit.
Really?
I do. I think he acts big and tough, and he's not big and tough. There was a play in that last game, game 6. He had the puck behind their net, set breakout, walked it out, and couldn't make a 10-foot pass. Yes. Absolutely fucked it, and they almost got scored in again. He doesn't play the body. He gets absolutely walked, and I don't like him. I think he's in the NHL, and can he chew up minutes? Sure, some, but he's not going to be I don't think he's what you hope he is, or what you want in Edmonton. He's not a great defender.
I think reason why I liked him is I think he's a top 4 that can move the puck.
I think he's barely a top 4. If he's that, I think he's a 5 at best.
Okay, so we collectively agree they've got to be bold. They've got to be really smart with their money. 8 years for Trent Frederic, get a hair under 4, if that's the term. Is that the type of move they need to make, or is that more of what we've already seen, which is probably not an efficient contract?
I think it's their Kane replacement, and you're getting him for something with a 3 in it. That's, you hope that Skinner was going to take that role, or Arvidsson or whatever. Not happen. I think we focus on term, but talking to managers, they're like, that's the currency they have now to get the AAV down. Like Chris Tanev got 6 years in Toronto.
Especially as the cap grows, right?
What you're doing is just you're kicking the can.
Koval's chucking it.
Well, you know what? At least with Frederic, if you want to look in terms of, you need people with high IQ, or like you say, take a hit and give a shit. I think he's got that give a shit. He's got some.
I honestly think he's their replacement for Kane.
And that to me, I was just gonna say they need to get him out. Yeah, that is addition by subtraction. If they have to eat the whole friggin' salary, so be it. I can't imagine being one of the guys in that room watching him renting Bentleys and walking in his suits and then taking dumb penalties and not helping us but hurting us and then disappearing. Great in the regular season. It would drive me crazy.
That's kind of where I was going, is like, I always try and afford and remove emotion and go, let's see what this end product looks like. But, getting back to the McDavid contract, even if he wants to be creative and go, I'm going to sign 4 years or 5 at 18, because that's, you're probably going to be 18% of the cap. Like you can have up to 20, but I don't think he'll take the full 20. I don't think he's like that. So you got to factor in Draisaitl at 14, McDavid at, call it 18. So yeah, it's a big chunk. It's going to be 30, whatever that is, 32% of your cap at 100 million. But at the end of the day, like you guys said, what does Bouchard get paid? It's probably going to be 10, north of 10, under 11, in that, maybe 11. But now you're getting top heavy, and you got to have young kids push through. Or that's what it would have been nice to have.
The offer sheet guys.
Holloway
at 2-3 is insane, because they should have signed that Broberg. I understand that's 4.5. So now you're going, okay, that's a little bit more money.
He's better than Nurse. He's making half the money.
Is he Walman? Is he not as good as Walman?
It's better.
The only thing I would argue is both of those players, they needed a mature team. They felt they needed a more mature team, and both of those players were young and immature. So now they're coming, and I agree.
Which is idiotic to consider, is it not? When you've got the oldest team in the league, what do you need to get fucking older?
They're mistakes.
Swearing again.
They're big mistakes.
And you don't need to go any deeper. They'll tell you as much. That was they got older, they got slower, and those two specifically, they didn't put themselves.
I think the upside on both of them. I called it at free agency last year. I said if I was Holloway, I would have offer sheeted him every day of the week, because I think he's a top 6. Yeah. I don't know. They traded away Ryan McLeod, IQ. I think that was some of the things. Like, the guy can skate for miles. But I always come back to it. I think I think we're going to see, the Frederic. I think Frederic, something with a 3 in it, if he's healthy. He clearly wasn't healthy. I don't think he could get there with the high ankle sprain. He tried to fight through it. You'll see a healthy Trent Frederic. I don't think you'll be disappointed with him with the number. It's just the term.
I'm just going to interrupt, because the only thing the conversation really is around is McDavid. And is he staying or not? Maybe he already knows.
Ask you this. If he just decided, I need a change, what team do you go to?
Whatever one you want. Everyone makes room for you.
Oh, yeah, but the team gets weaker having to trade for him.
That's trade.
So
he's a free agent in a year.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's going to take up $18 million of that team. So that team.
Why is it okay in Edmonton than not other teams?
Because it's built around him.
No, but there's younger teams that have better cap situations than Edmonton.
I think.
Come on.
Yeah, but okay, so
Rangers. Panarin's money's gone. They just got rid of Trouba. LA, they got tons of money. Tampa,
unless he picks a team like Tampa where 18 can be
22,
15, right? Where that cap number comes down.
But to trade, are you talking as a free, unrestricted free agent? Or are you talking as
saying
I know it's
he's
two
not
different
going to do that to Edmonton? He's not just going to walk on the team that.
Well, no, it's going to be their
but if-
choice, Noodles. Like if he doesn't sign in the first week of July and they've been trying to get him to write down any number on a piece of paper, they know there isn't a conversation to be had. Either signs or he doesn't.
I think
You don't walk this guy into his walk here without knowing he's gone.
Draisaitl didn't sign until September last year. So I don't know why everybody's making a big deal that he's going to sign by the first week of July. I don't think he does.
Yeah, he doesn't have to, but the Oilers management had better know where his head's at.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
like,
for sure, but-
and if he's, that's fine. He doesn't have to sign.
I guess my point
we're
is,
just-
you don't think that Oilers management know, like this is his former agent,
Mhm.
and his like this. The whole organization is built around this guy. So I guarantee you they know where he's at, because I would be shocked if his camp wasn't in on
So
everything.
then why wouldn't he sign July 1st?
I think it's just a matter of numbers. Like it's,
I just
you gotta
wonder if it's
figure out.
changed at all, because I'm with you. I think it's a very low percentage chance. I think he resigns. It's just a matter, is it 4 years?
Can
Is
I
it
ask,
8?
is that,
But I wonder if he looks at it, this is back-to-back cups, and we're further away now than we were a year ago. And maybe we don't play Florida even if we get back next year. But what if we don't get back? You still got to. Would Colorado have given them a better run than Dallas? I just don't know what he's thinking. If it's changed,
and I just don't know what the players think anymore. Like,
You could also think that you're right, like you're further away, but like Toronto took Florida to 7 games. What if Florida doesn't? What if Bobrovsky just continued? The first 2 games he was junk. So what if he just doesn't have a good series? I thought Tampa was the best team out east.
What?
I really did.
I was actually going to ask you that, because it's been 9 years or whatever you said about the Oilers or the Leafs. Who have they lost to in the playoffs? Like they did have Columbus.
It's
loss
only
in
Florida
there.
teams in Boston.
Columbus, Montreal.
So
They've
Stanley
lost
Cup
to-
finalists.
Well, no, they lost to Columbus in the bubble.
I know, but
The
that's-
They
Sixers.
lost to Montreal after being up 3-1 in the bubble.
Montreal went to the finals. Like that's a Stanley Cup. I know that you're saying you're up and you shouldn't lose, but
Okay, so
it was
here,
still a Stanley Cup finalist. They lost to Boston, I think, a couple times.
Tampa, Florida.
And I'm not saying you're
Jamie's on
wrong.
the
I'm
ropes.
just saying
but they didn't. Here's my. You're actually feeding what I'm saying. They lost to eventual winners potentially. They didn't change. They didn't change nothing about their core.
That's. I mean, the
but
forwards.
what's
I
that- but you're
agree,
saying
come on.
don't change anything in
The
well,
decor and the
I guess
goalies
it's
are
not.
totally different than
Need
years.
to. So that's what my point is, and that's exactly like you look at Edmonton. Edmonton's lost to the last 4 cup winners, right? They've lost now. That's twice to Florida, and it was
And
Colorado,
Vegas,
and it was
Colorado.
Vegas.
Yeah.
So they've lost 4 years in a row to the cup champion. Okay. So that's, and the cup champion has gone through Edmonton. So you're looking at your team and going, what are we missing? What's the common denominator? The easiest, lowest hanging fruit is we've had the lowest save percentage out of all of them. Now you could look at the goaltending and go, you start there, and then you go systematic play. Because I will ask you guys this question. I know how Florida likes to forecheck. I know how Florida likes to play their neutral zone. I know how Florida likes to defend. Does Edmonton, like Rhett, when you look at them systematically?
I thought, but again, it's weird because 3 weeks ago they cruised through Vegas and Dallas, and you're like, they've figured it out.
And they don't give up
They
much.
have figured it out. These
Give up
guys
on
are
it, right?
dialed in. And then
But
in the final, you're like, these guys are lost. They're useless.
You know why they were lost is because somebody's got to figure out how to break Florida's system and how aggressive they are. Now, there were a couple chances. I pointed this out against Toronto. Game 7, Toronto had 3 breakaways in the first period. Now, unfortunately, it was Lorentz, Lawton,
Taylor had one.
and Nylander had one where Bob made a good save. But those could look differently because of how aggressive Florida plays. Like talking to Seth Jones, it was unreal, some of the insight he was given when he came over. He said he did weeks of video learning how to play their system because their D are so up in the play. And he goes, you got to be fast and aggressive and not hesitate. Because the minute you hesitate, puck goes. And if you don't have somebody on top, that's why they give up those grade A's. Now, the difference, you got a $10 million goaltender that's a Hall of Famer in net.
Yeah.
So they do have that trust factor there because the goalie has covered up for them a lot. But I think there's layers and we can dissect it. But I think we talk about all this, and I was talking to somebody out of Florida this morning, and he said to me, he goes, you guys are talking about what Edmonton doesn't have, what these teams, he goes, why don't you just give us some credit too? Like he goes, we're like the way that they were built.
I don't think anyone doesn't give them credit. It's almost an unspoken, you're the top of the food chain,
Yes.
clearly.
The question isn't, is Florida good? The question is, how does McDavid win a cup in Edmonton? That's the decision he's mulling over. He doesn't want max dollars. He wants to win a bleeping cup. And when I look at Edmonton, the biggest challenge they face is that next year, other teams are going to be better just because guys are heading into their prime.
Yeah.
Wyatt Johnson's going to be better. Rupe Hintz is going to be better. Thomas Harley's going to be better. Maverick Bork's going to be better. Miro Haskinen's going to have a year playoff experience and not come in off injury. Like, that's a team they're competing with. Who is going to be better on the Oilers next year that's coming into their prime? Who's a good 20-year-old player?
Saying they need to make changes.
Right, but how do you collect guys heading into their prime?
If you can make a change in net, that takes you a long way. It takes you a long way
because Skinner was really good against Dallas.
I don't think you're wrong, but my point is not that. My point is who is getting it better because they're heading into their prime on that team? They're old.
Yeah,
like who's 25 that's good on that team?
I think and Jamie talked about it at the start. You get rid of Kane, you get rid of some of those old guys, you inject some youth. You mentioned get somebody to play with Draisaitl. Remember, just hang on. No one thought Chris Kunitz was a star. He goes to Pittsburgh. He meshes with Sid. Sid gets him on the Olympic team. They got him for Ryan Whitney. Like, it can be done. I'm trying to help Jamie because he's.
No, I'm not trying to help. I believe in the end, you're not wrong. These are all giant question marks that we are pondering. What my thing is I always try and say, like, let's see what the product's going to look like, the finished product. Because right now, what I'm hearing, and I'm sure you guys are hearing the same thing, it's like every team next year thinks they can win the Stanley Cup. Is there a team that is rebuilding right now next year?
Chicago.
They should be. But I mean,
you know who else? My boys down in Buffalo. They got to rebuild.
Marner. You know, Chicago's in on Mitch Marner. They're all in on these. You're like, okay. So I think managers have to figure out and be honest with themselves. What is their team? Because then we're going to start to see what they're willing to part with or what they're willing to go after. Because that's the interesting part. I'm hearing like insanity as far as like, you know, Mitch Marner. Okay, great. Mitch Marner, go and get $14 million. It's not going to be on a team that is going to win the cup next year. If you're going to get $14 million, if you're willing to take less and go to Vegas or go to, and it comes back to your point, Pinder. If Vegas gets Mitch Marner, their team's better.
Yeah,
they'll be chasing Edmonton, or you know, vice versa. And they never played each other, but you know what I mean. Like I look at the bigger. Oh, they did play each other, but you know what I mean. Like not this year yet.
I'm more interested, to be honest with you. And clearly, I'm not an Oiler fan, and I'd be happy for them to dismantle. I'm more interested on a personal point of like, and we can't know because it's in his own head. What drives McDavid truly, and why is there a loyalty that must be that we all assume that he feels to the Edmonton Oilers that he has to? The league would much rather not have him in Edmonton. That there's a lifestyle thing. You're the best player, like Lionel Messi and those guys. They go live in the best cities in the world. It's still Edmonton, and that's fine. And I lived in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I'm not, but this guy controls his own destiny. Why?
I think my biggest thing, and it's a great point, but I think you always got to be careful as to like you go chasing it.
I know what you mean, but that's Hossa chasing it, and he finally got. I know what you mean, but it's not just about chasing it because Connor McDavid's chances of winning a Stanley Cup are not better in Edmonton than they would be in New York or Vegas or LA or wherever he goes because he's Connor McDavid. But everyone's going to want to come, and it might be better for him to attract other players in a better market than Edmonton.
Here's why I disagree with you. Because Leon Draisaitl is the second best player on the planet, and he arguably could be the number one if McDavid wasn't around. Like that's how good that guy is.
You
He's a top
think
5 guy for sure.
the Draisaitl carries the Oilers to the cup like Messier took the Oilers to the cup after Gretzky left? Because I don't.
I think Draisaitl is more effective than Connor McDavid a lot of nights.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is his star doesn't shine as bright because you're always focused on the shiny toy. But I think Draisaitl is a clear number 2 in the league.
Oh, come on, McKinnon.
Yeah, but
You kidding me? You would take Draisaitl over McKinnon?
I would, yes. Because you know why? Because Draisaitl is physical. McKinnon doesn't like the physical stuff. And I think Draisaitl works with his line mates a lot better. I think Draisaitl is like I'm more of a Draisaitl guy than McKinnon.
The report card for
way,
Edmonton's got to be the biggest F ever. The
Okay,
best
so
who plays the
either-
role for a decade. Like, what are we talking about?
Either way, you're talking about 2A, 2B, 2, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
One
but
of
I'm
the top
saying,
players
like you just said, he goes to New York. McDavid's on an island there. Like that's the thing.
For how long?
What do you mean? How long?
Why can't the Rangers operate as good as the Oilers do? Okay, take Draisaitl out of it.
Panarin's got dry hair most of the night. Panarin literally has dry hair most of the nights. When you watch him play, if you watch Panarin,
How's Shesterkin?
he's great. I love him. Adam Fox is getting older. How's Adam Fox? Keandre Miller is he might be the next Darnell Nurse.
You know what you are? Get ready, Jack, because we're going to hang up on this guy. He's an Oilers honk
He's a
right
honk.
now. Today, you're an absolute St. Albert blood is bubbling down there in Toronto.
What I'm doing is trying to like get people to breathe and go. It's a team that's been to the finals 2 years in a row, and they've given themselves a really good chance. And it's all of a sudden like they're the San Jose Sharks right now. And I'm saying, like, just let it breathe.
You're just trying to, if you're telling me the Oilers are best positioned to win a cup for Connor McDavid out of all 32 teams for the next 9 years, I'm not buying it. Of course they can be really good.
He doesn't need the next 9 years.
Decision on his future.
But what you're saying is the next 9 years. I'm saying the guy he needs one, and he's in his prime. So he needs to win it next year or the next, like this year or this upcoming year or the next year. Because all of a sudden, do you think that engine, like if he does have some sort of like injury issues in that, like that, there is going to be a plateau where, like, I don't think he plays till he's 40, like Sid, without major injury. Keep in mind, Sid had major injuries with the concussions. We don't talk about those. Like these guys, not everyone's Ovi. Not everyone can play every night. Like they're going to, like, I think
all the more reasons that Connor has to take a deep look and go, where's my
point? That's kind of what I'm saying is I think he looks at it and goes, what is the best chance for me to win this upcoming year and next, like in a 3-year window with the guy beside me who's in his prime as well, Draisaitl.
Well, Jack just texted me. He already has a deal made.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
He's going to Pittsburgh.
Play with Sid.
Play with Sid.
right.
So-
Unreal.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Development.
he goes to Pittsburgh. No, Jack's drunk. He must be.
Yeah,
Jack is,
He's been drinking since the big win.
Pittsburgh, actually, that's a team that's rebuilding.
There you go.
There you go.
That's actually good. That's a good one because you know what? Could you pick at that carcass and see if his buddy Sid wants to go and play with him in Edmonton?
I think that's one thing we haven't looked at. I don't give a shit because I'm not cheering or hoping for the Oilers to do well, though. But it's about picking carcasses of teams that aren't thinking they're good.
That's kind of what I was saying too. Is like, who's rebuilding that you could be talking to, going, I want this player and I want that.
I would go and rape
Oh,
Edmonton's system. Okay, can't say that.
that's a, yeah, we know what you
Harsh
mean.
verb, okay?
Oh,
No,
But seriously, you would take, or not Edmonton's, Buffalo's. Because I don't think they have a clue what direction they're going. Are we rebuilding again? Or are we in it? Or what?
To be fair, that sounds like the Flames too, doesn't it?
well,
I think the Flames are just holding pat, trying to.
We'll see what they do with the Rasmus.
But I think it.
I'll tell you, that's the thing. And now they've got a new AGM. So
Oh, I know.
You guys watch out.
Yarmo.
No. It's talking
Very
about the
proud.
Flames.
Oh.
Very proud. But I guess you're right. That's Pinder. I think we're actually arguing for the same thing. It's just I'm arguing in a shorter window. I think McDavid signs whatever term he wants. It's going to be in Edmonton. And if eventually there will be a time where he goes, check, please.
Yeah.
You don't want to jam up the organization. So it's like, find me a trade. Like, then you can get some assets back for me. I don't think it's a scenario where he goes.
It's like what goes through players' minds is I don't want to jam up the organization.
They kind of jammed him up the last decade.
No.
if we're being
It's
honest.
not even that. Even if it's a cordial relationship, do you?
I would
like,
disagree that they jammed him up, because I don't think that there was times where he wasn't like, just because you're the best player in the world doesn't mean that you have to win. Like, that's the other. You said Sidney Crosby. He had a Hall of Fame goaltender there. Like, he also had Letang, who's a Hall of Famer, probably. You think he is? Malkin. Like, he had
Malkin's is his dry settle for sure.
Right. All he had was dry settle. I guess my point being is McDavid took he took less to stay technically before, right? He could have gotten.
I think so. Yeah. 12.5 for 8.
I think he's going to continue to be team friendly until he's ready to leave. And then he goes, I'm ready to leave. You know, I put my time in here, but I still believe he wants to win there and then move on. That was my point of the whole time, is like, I think his focus is to win in Edmonton, and then all bets are off. And I would tell all my buddies who are Leaf fans who want him in Toronto, oh, he's coming home. I'm like, oh yeah, he's John Tavares sleeping with the pajamas on. And I'm saying, then what you should do is you should hope for him to win, because then all bets are off. Because I think
if he won this year, do you think there's no extension?
I think there's an extension, because they would probably try and run it back. Like, okay, we won. We could try and get a couple here.
Doesn't have to extend for next year.
But I think his thought process is I want to win in Edmonton, and then if it doesn't, you can trade that guy and you can get a boatload of assets. But that's been my counter argument. He can go anywhere and win. To trade for him, you're going to have to give up those players that are going to help him win.
The real interesting conundrum would be if he said to Stan, I've loved my time here. Last year's my next year in Edmonton.
That's more fun.
Are you beholden to trade him, or do you try
fun.
to win the cup with him that last year? That's a fascinating debate.
I think you
keep him back.
I think you trade him immediately. Like, you go, we're going to try and get a king's ransom back for you right now. Because that would be, because if he's going to walk for free,
you can't. That
Pinder is trying to manifest it for. He did the same with Leon for a long time.
Don't radio me on that too.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Headline: McLennan says.
They know what show you're on. We've been celebrating and planning the parades of them leaving for years. No one's left yet.
Well, I think that's an interesting conundrum, because you try and win with him, but then if you don't, he walks for free. Now you're really screwed.
You can't.
As opposed to
it's a Cinderella ending.
Yeah, or you trade him and you try and build around Draisaitl, but you could get a king's ransom for him if you traded him. That's the thing.
Do whatever you want.
Did you hook up with your boy Bobby Lou and have some fun, or were they too busy?
They were on the ice till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
And then my flight was at 6, so I got back to the hotel at 2:20.
Dude, it was bad planning.
Yeah, I wasn't flying the plane, so I was fine. But I got, slept for a bit and then landed and had my show. So I had a really good sleep last night. I never sleep. I never sleep 7 hours. I got 7 hours.
You've been sleeping well too over here, believe it or not. Yeah.
Well, I put you guys to sleep arguing with you all of that.
No, I was going to say good defense. You kept hands up, right? You got to weaves.
And lastly, this is the funny thing. I'm not an Oilers fan. I'm a Flames fan. You guys know it.
On that.
The house I'm sitting in is the Calgary Flames help pay for it.
Yeah, the chat disagrees. They think you're.
Have you spoken with Peter Hanlon, the new AGM?
I might have. I mean, he happens to be the godfather of my son. Yes. So
how's he going to do? What are his strengths?
He pumped up? This is awesome.
His strengths are that he has touch points in that organization and has for 27 years. I think it's more that he is a wealth of knowledge. He's got a hockey background. He's got a PR background. He knows that organization better than anybody.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a great resource for Connie and Jerome and Dave Nonis and Brad Pascal. And to me, you can never have too many smart, good people at the table.
Wow. If he was a harder worker.
Yeah. Only he worked 19 hours a day instead of 18, then,
I could See it. I just disagree with this work ethic.
Yeah, Red has a big problem with that kind of work ethic. That's a bad bar to set.
So let me
See within the rink at what time?
Boomer, the people in the chat think I'm an Oilers fan. Why? Because I'm not just creating crazy trades and saying like
wild scenarios where McDavid's walking in, say, I'm out of here today.
You're not saying they're old, they have no money, and why would he stay? And he can win anywhere else.
But you can't, that's my point. You can't win anywhere else.
Like you need to be irrationally negative towards the Oilers.
Do you understand the show, Noodles?
I understand, but it's not about being irrational. It's about understanding and going, like, let's breathe and look at it. And it would be better if, yes, he did go somewhere else, but there's no guarantee. Like maybe, here's the other thing. Maybe he needs to look at his game. Because he's 0 goals in 3 finals games, elimination games. And now you can bang your head up against the wall. Other players find ways. Like that first goal or second goal against, he goes to the wrong guy coming back. Like you did, like there are some things in his game that he can look at the tape and go, why did I do that? Or why did, what happened here? Like that line got chewed up.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny talking to people in Florida, Barkov, Reinhart gets 4 goals. That could have been the McDavid game. That wasn't the McDavid game. That was the Reinhart game. Like, we didn't see a McDavid game in the finals, did we?
No, and that's how Florida plays.
Well, and that's why I still wonder if he wasn't. Yeah.
I do think he's banged up. I do think that, in fairness. So
you piggyback that to, and that's what the whole thing, and we got to stop. But
yeah, I got to go.
As he sits there and is like, I made a mistake in that goal, so now it's 2-0 or whatever, and I'm not scoring. But it's also if I don't do it, no one else is doing it either.
It's so weird. And again, we can say this to ourselves, but like they were so good after game 2. I mean, the second period of game 3 against LA. From that point on till the finals,
hot knife.
They were awesome.
Game 1 against the Panthers,
you were like, Jesus, and then it looks like you said it. They're not even taking hits.
Hardly led in the series, trailed most of it.
Yeah. I mean, Florida was dominant, and Edmonton's got lots of work, as do the rest of the league, if Florida's going to run that group back. So,
were you in Florida when Luongo had to go poop?
No, that was Danny Sabrin.
Oh, okay.
That was wasn't he with Vancouver at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Is that when they had did they need the forklift to go and like bang the door open, or how did he get out?
Well, he didn't get trapped in there. I think he was just Harry Dunn. That's why he was shaving.
Crack a window.
Yeah, like I think he was shaving. That's the problem. Yeah. How much AJ Greer chat have you guys had today?
It's coming up
next.
As you can imagine.
Busy days.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good.
Appreciate you, Nudes.
All right, guys.
There you go.
Next week.
Jamie McLennan on the Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating Insider Hotline, 403-219-4100, or online, crystalclearcalgary.com.
He should build double for today. He was great. Yeah, look, he makes a lot of very good points. One thing I will ask,
his are the reality points.
Yeah. Well, no, but this is the exercise I will give Oilers fans. Show me the moves that work under the cap, because that's the environment we live in. Of course, you can do this and do that and swap that guy and buy out this guy and trade that guy and move laterally here in net. Show me how this works in the cap, and then show me the end roster. And that's what Stan Bowman's going to do, as Noodles said, in September. And at that point, we'll say, this is their team. It's a very difficult puzzle. It's not to say it's impossible. It's one of the more difficult puzzles amongst the contenders in the league.
Have they done anything in the past? And I think Stan's new there, so maybe it doesn't matter. I'm thinking about Bouchard. I'm like, okay, well, he's going to make so much money. Or is that a guy where you go, wait a minute?
If you're GM, you're moving Bouchard. I know.
No, I'm not even moving him, because at a certain cost, it's more. You want to stay here, and you're going to ask Connor to take. It's what you said earlier. You're going to ask Connor to take a little bit less. Well, you take a little bit less. You want to play with Connor McDavid and have a chance to win? This is what we can pay you. Is there an arbitration argument where you get him at 10? Because
no,
those numbers.
He's got Carlson numbers. Carlson's deal was signed at a way lower cap. Carlson's making 11.5. Like if he wants to absolutely put them over a barrel in ARB, he can. How much he wants to be in Edmonton versus make money, I don't know the answer. But the ARB case is very strong because the arbitrator's not worried about highlight reel turnovers. It's points. It's time on ice.
Yep.
It's playoff production that is elite. So
Like, it's
he's got
another-
a
It's a
dangerous
video
ARB
of him
case.
getting walked and scored on though. Like I don't understand how the ARB or the judges.
all numbers.
Yeah. It's
They're
another
great
one of those things, though, because what did we hear about Florida? These guys are dogs. These guys, and like Jamie says, guys are not willing to take hits in
That's
Edmonton.
what they do.
If you talk about making big, hard moves, if you look at it and think it's got to be more than points if we're spending 10 million on a D-man. He's highly offensive, but his IQ is great.
Offensively, yeah.
Okay.
Defensively, he's
Low IQ.
not strong as we need him to be. And I mean, that's
You can win with guys like
that's
that.
a hard.
But it's that kind of money. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so that, yeah, like it's a lot of tough decisions.
Yeah. I have a read here. You guys mind if I do a read?
Let's do.
Okay. Mark your calendars and kick your feet up because the Daily Face Off Live free agency special is coming in hot on July 1st, starting live at 11 Est.
Kicking my feet up.
3 straight hours of chaos, contracts in full-blown free agent frenzy, hosted by Tyler Yaremchuk with analysts Jeff Merrick, Colby Cohen, and Johnny Lazarus, Puckpedia founder Hart Levine, and our player panel of Carter Hutton and Matthew Barnaby, plus several of our reporters from across the Nation network. If something breaks, they're on it. If your team makes a move, they're ripping it apart or giving it props, parentheses, but probably ripping it apart, close parentheses. Every signing, every trade, every what the hell are they thinking, in quotes, moment, they're breaking it all down live, giving you the real-time impact, the wild predictions, and maybe a few chirps along the way. So fire up the group chat, crack something cold, and join the team on the Daily Face-Off YouTube channel July 1st at 11 a.m. Est for the Daily Face-Off free agency special. It's gonna be a full-on banger. Don't miss it. Brought to you by the Nation Network.
Good job, Dean.
Thanks.
That's on YouTube.
On the YouTube Daily Face-Off YouTube channel, July 1st
2025.
at 11 a.m.
Est.
Now, do you like bangers and mash?
I don't
A little
know that
bit of
I've ever done.
You should do it.
Really?
They got a nice little gravy on there. It can be quite delicious.
I do love gravy.
Is banger a fancy word for sausage, or are we talking about something else? You have it at okay, yeah.
No, I've never done, like,
It's
I
the
assume
type of-
mash is mashed potatoes. Is it a breakfast deal, or do you have it any time of
this is
day?
a lunch or dinner.
This feels like
this is Guinness. This is a
pub.
blustery,
Pubby deal,
wet,
yeah.
snowy day in London.
Yeah, this is the United Kingdom rain, hearty, soulful.
Old London town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
Old
it there.
London
Good
town
spot.
on the YouTube.
On the YouTube channel.
How come you guys aren't doing a show?
Well, they asked and we said no.
Oh, do we do that often?
Are you guys interested in doing some July 1st stuff? No.
And the Calgary Flames have come to terms with Joel Hanley.
Hey, Rhett, we're happy to have you on the team. Would you like to come to the rookie camp in Florida and train with us?
No. Yeah, that was when you were 18.
Dumb. God, kids are dumb, eh? 18? Come to Miami? Shit, games don't matter?
My girlfriend wears a bikini a lot during the summer. So I was
Like,
probably not gonna. Yeah, we got we're going
Voila.
fishing.
It's actually a pretty decent year for mosquitoes, so we'll be outside a bunch.
Yeah.
yeah,
What
it
are
hasn't
you
rained much.
thinking?
Yeah. Well, or it might be good for your career.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind the other parts.
Yeah, the other part was not even what I was considering. It was like, oh, so you've got
Are you-
professional trainers and ice time and
Yeah, I've got your flight info here. If you got a pen, just write it. So your flight, we got your hotel. We'll pick you up at the.
No?
Are you not? So no.
did you really?
Okay. Can you imagine that?
Is that French?
That page or whatever would have gone back into the GM. Rhett Warner isn't coming.
It's declined.
What do you mean he isn't coming? Well, Did you make it an option? Like, did you gave him a yes or no? Is that
He said he has a pallet burning party in northern
yeah,
Saskatchewan.
they're
He's
burning a bunch
both.
of tires.
Bush
Near-
party.
Yeah,
Bush party.
Rosetown.
Good bush parties there.
Yeah, we say no to a lot of things that maybe.
You know,
You said yes something yesterday, though. I'll tell you that.
do you have? Well, you're not from a small town. Was there a paper, a little kind of small town paper but you went Saskatoon after Frontier?
Yeah, Star Phoenix in Saskatoon. I don't know if Shaunavon. It was more the ag. What was the farmers? one?
Yeah.
Western
Egg
producer.
Producer.
That's
Anyway,
not the one that Roger Millions writes for.
oddly, our little town had its own paper, and still does, even after I think it's
Is
still
there
in
a
print.
Shaunavon Standard.
So newspapers do exist, you're saying?
But for us, like I'm talking small town.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know, just over 1,000 people, 1,200, I don't know.
What's the news? Jesus.
Well, you'd
New
be
fire
surprised.
pole going in
But
on Main
what they
Street?
do, what they have, and goes back a long time, is they have a catalog.
Yeah, I think it was called the Shaunavon Standard.
There you go. Little small town. It's how you keep up on things. Maybe you've got your want ads in the back if you need to sell your
where everybody dies.
Yeah.
Swap and shop.
whatever
Yeah.
those
yeah,
are.
that sort of thing. Yeah, the obituaries would be big. That's
When's
big
the
business.
service? Yeah.
But I know in my small town paper, they have here's what happened 10 years,
Anniversaries.
this week over the course of time. The paper came out 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? And good news for the Roblin Review.
Yeah.
Viewership is still huge because I was getting emails and texts and messages throughout the day.
Really?
I made the paper yesterday.
Come on. Oh, dear.
For those that are listening, this was in the
Holy fuck.
This
40
Week
years.
in Roblin history 40 years ago. And thanks for throwing my age in there in case you,
Yeah, you
Can't do the
real
math.
quick there.
Jack, even you can nail this shit.
50.
Thanks. 40 years ago. And top story, in fairness, notice I'm right at the top of the 40 years ago bracket.
Seems like, yeah.
10-year-old Dean Malberg suffers a broken collarbone and leg after he was struck by a vehicle while riding his bicycle home from work.
Quiet
Home
Riot.
from school.
Work.
Quiet Riot t-shirt.
10-year-old
Sorry, I was
working.
looking for,
Quiet Riot t-shirt was.
it was my Quiet Riot, Come On, Feel the Noise t-shirt.
Right. Yeah. We've heard the story a few times on the old show.
I mean, tough times, right?
Are you feeling better?
Very excited to get home or do whatever. So yeah, guys,
Pizza pops.
two things. I mean, guys, stop at the stop sign, kid.
Oh,
Then on the flip side, probably don't need to be driving like 60K and a 30.
Did you
around
go
the
like
school.
for a fair distance? What would you estimate?
There was some
the
airtime for
distance
sure, yeah.
Traveled.
Because I do think of where I was laying,
Yeah.
and where the intersection was. So yeah, it would have been quite a visual.
I have a weird
I would
question.
think.
Did your shoes come off?
I don't remember. I don't.
Everyone says your shoes come off when you get hit by a car.
All I remember is it sounded exactly like you'd hear the things on TV, like like the screeching of tires, and then it's like that's exactly what that sounds like.
That's a car
Yeah,
accident.
when that happens.
You know what I appreciate about you though, bud, is that you're a brave soul, because I know for a fact that you went and bought one of those bike outfits, those tight fitting bike
Neon?
outfits, and
Yeah.
got back in the saddle and
Yeah.
rode that damn bike.
Sure
That's
did.
right. Get right on that horse again.
And actually,
Did you get hit again?
Well, the Malbergs didn't have a lot of money.
Oh dear.
So you would think maybe get a new bike now because this one's been.
Pulverized.
That's just a fixer-upper. Dad's real handy. Don't you worry. We'll get a new rim.
We
Rims
could
are about
bend
$10.
this shit back.
Yeah.
You know what wasn't around in whatever 40 years ago was today? Peter Klein and McLeod Lock, because you would have been taking care of real.
Oh, you'd be so well.
You'd have a new bike, but
Probably could have got a new bike.
yeah,
No,
minimum.
it was, I said, now, see, it's all coming back to me. I was riding my friend's bike, which makes it worse.
Oh dear.
So it was his bike. So he got a new one.
And you got the
I got the old one that got smashed.
because they felt bad because you got hit by a car.
Yeah.
You can have
Well, you have to get that kid, poor guy, his buddy smashed his bike up. So it's
Did
great
you
for him.
Why don't we let
slash the
Dean
prick's
keep
tire?
the
Brand
bendo?
new,
See,
well, I couldn't really
on
get
this
up at the
day,
time.
we both have negative.
It's true. Who
It's
knew?
a bad day. We should have stayed home.
I don't
you know
if it
what
was
would
this
make
day,
it better?
But,
You know what would make it better?
Drinking?
Pizza.
pizzas. If
Pizza,
there were
Jack.
4
If there were
pizzas here,
4 pizzas here, that like
Pizza party, Jack.
Don't blame me. I asked what pizza you wanted, and you didn't give me an answer.
Red picked the place that opens at 4 p.m. I'm not
it's
waiting till
called
4.
a pizza.
how's your leg? 40 years ago this month, according to the review, I remember our principal sprinting across the playground.
Were you close to death?
I'm
do you
glad I
think?
could have so many positive memories for people.
What was your buddy's name that got the new bike?
Did they IV you?
Come on, you can't say his name.
Yes,
Little
but it's-
Jimmy.
No,
What? It's not his fault.
Richard?
At least he got a new bike out of it.
there's a lot of. It's a very Ukrainian area.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
And
His name was Taras.
Excuse me.
That's right.
Jack, can you spell that?
Tetris?
Taras?
It was Taras Daniluk. It was his bike.
How were the
Terras?
how were the Danilux about the whole loss of bike situation?
Well, I think they were fine because they got a new bike. I don't think they were too concerned.
all right.
Like Terra.
Why was he
Or
on
Terra.
Terra with an S?
Tarot card.
Like there's like a
Terra.
there's a
Terra.
anyway.
Happy anniversary, Tina. Sorry.
So happy to throw myself under the bus and car for you guys today. I saw that. I said yesterday, I'm like, oh, that's wow. Yeah, I'll have
He
it.
did
on the
say he had
show.
some for the show today. I did not
Yeah.
expect that at all.
Noodles would have liked that.
And then somebody else sent one. It's like, well, what is this one?
Well, as you said, readership
There's,
very high.
there's
still.
no, the readership is high. This
Yeah.
was from someone else who
Oh,
the Parkland Music and Visual Arts Festival attracts 150 entries. Robin, this girl's name, places first in the 7 and under piano.
Ah,
skip to the loop.
And she was like, my memory is somewhat more positive than getting hit by a car. And at least they didn't put my age along with the how many years ago it was so that everyone would know that I'm 50 years old.
kind of feels like a shot, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Did he ever let you use his new bike? No, we never
Yeah.
traded bikes.
So
or
were you
anything.
good friends?
Taras was not.
We were
tempted
good
to do
friends.
that
I'll
So
say
you
this
stole
though.
his girl.
Last year, when we went home for a little to do, it's his family that make the prime rib,
again. Oh, really?
like the beef dinners.
The Danilux.
The Danilux and Roblin.
Mean prime rib.
Unbelievable.
You should take us.
So good. I don't know. And they won't tell you. It's like, how do you do it?
No.
Can't really say.
Put ourselves out of business.
It's kind of our business. Pierogies, cabbage rolls.
Homemade?
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd do anything for Auntie Ellen's pierogies right now.
I always thought if I ever win the Masters, and I may still, but if I ever
That's
win
your
the
year.
Masters, I'd bring the Danilux in to serve the dinner.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
what I'd be doing.
It's your year for golf.
I'm going to be good this year, I think.
Mhm. I could see
You
you.
just wait till Scotty Scheffler hears about this. He'll be shaking in his boots.
Yeah. Well, what has he done lately?
Not been as good as the Colorado Rockies. if I
Not been
recall.
good.
Yeah.
Time for the Pinder Report.
No pizza.
Not today. Not from the looks of it.
Glad to see you're in good health, Dean.
Village Honda presents the Pinder Report. We were there 2 days ago. The lot is jammed. New, pre-owned CRVs, the new Passport Trail Sport. They've got it on the lot.
Don't think about taking mine because Anthony already said he's got to put aside.
I don't know that he did.
Yes, he did. It's
Did he
right here.
text
It's
it?
right
Wow,
here.
how
I
about
put
that?
one
Got it
on
for
the
you,
side for you, Richard.
We'll put
Thank
one
you.
on the side.
He's had a no orange policy. They need a new color on that one. And
He's
it's
got-
good.
There you go. Let's get to it. It's Pinder Report.
Let's head over to FlamesNation.ca. We are 8 days away from the NHL draft, which means we're unveiling pick number 8 in
Oh.
Flames Nation's top 20 draft picks in Flames history. And look at this old beauty. Mikey Vernon coming in at number 8. It's worth a read. Also, up at the website, there's been some former Flames winning cups and lots of prospect profiles. Everyone talking about Kachuk
How
and
could
Bennett.
someone be sorry? I'm just looking at that article, and who am I to argue with Pike because
Yeah.
he's so smart.
Right.
So Vernon's the number 8 draft
Of all time.
of all time.
Yeah.
And how many jerseys are retired?
It depends if you count the stupid Forever Flame thing, but 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 4 now with
4.
Kipper.
Lanny, Kipper,
Jerome.
Jerome, and who?
Mike Vernon.
The Vern Dog.
Oh,
In fairness, I know what you're saying. Should be higher. Is that what you're?
his
This is draft picks, right?
So where you're picking.
Because
is
Lanny
huge-
wasn't a Flames draft pick, nor Jerome, nor Kipper.
So you should be number 1.
so it should be number 1 then.
Except when you pick Theo in round 9, that's probably a more impressive pick. Is kind of, I think, the point of the list.
Well, that's a stupid list. Pike.
Yeah, that's
Terrible
probably true.
job.
Rhett will unveil his top 5 on the website tomorrow
Pike takes a lot of abuse during
from
the
one
Pinder
person. On
Report.
the
Well,
show.
how do you have Vernon at 8?
Oh, we got to see the top 7.
Can we
But
guess?
It's irrelevant.
Can we-
There's no one else's jerseys in the rafters. How are they better?
I would say Johnny Gaudreau in round 4 would be a better pick.
No, it's not. His
Okay.
jersey's not retired.
I'm
There is a
sure
case
there's
to be
compelling
made.
case that Pike will make in
Much
the next
like
7
McDavid
days.
and his best chance of where to win,
Mhm.
it could be multiple answers to the
No,
question.
it can't.
All right.
Okay.
Jersey
Back to
retired
you,
means
Ryan.
you're the best and no one's better. That's played for this franchise.
What if they're still in their career, or
And they haven't retired yet.
or what if the Flames decided that we're going to forever aflame your jersey?
You know
and
what?
not-
You guys give too much credit to Pike. That's the problem.
That is a
I
problem.
want to
isn't
read
it?
those 7 comments. They're probably smart people telling Pike.
See, but in addition to that, he's also in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
He is.
In
Oh.
addition to his jersey being retired,
Yeah. There's a few Hall of
Oh,
Famers.
so there's 7 guys
So there's
still
7.
better. So who are the 7 Hall of Fame?
Do you,
Calgary Flames?
Do you remember the draft year? What round Vernie went in? He was pick 56 in the 3rd round.
That's great.
Good pick.
do you think that has
I'd say one of
bearing
their top
on,
10 picks in all time franchise history.
like you said with Theo? So if it's further down, does that make
More impressive.
it's so you would rise?
Luckier.
I think, and I've been studying the drafts, the further down, like the later the pick, the harder it is to get a star.
I'm not doubt. What I'm saying is for Pike, do you think that's part of this criteria
100%. Yes.
that if you were drafted later, that rises regardless?
Yeah, I think anyone could run to the podium and yell Connor McDavid's name at pick 1. It's harder to find a superstar in round 9. That would be the criteria. And
But that would still make you probably the best draft pick potentially.
Call Pike, Jack.
Pike, can we get Pike?
Can we
Where's
get
the
Pike
wrench?
on
Is it the best
It's
draft
probably in the
pick
chat.
at where you were drafting, or
Yeah.
just the best player
The
who was
sneakiest
drafted
best
by the Flames?
draft pick, or because it says the top 20 draft, like
It's not the top 20 players drafted by the Flames. It's the selections that he's giving kudos to.
this is stupid.
Boy, in the 3rd round, they found this
Go
guy
ahead and
going in
read
the
it.
hall.
So that's what it's the mining of the draft, not the
100%.
best players who were drafted by the Flames.
Correct.
It's not really that clear.
Well, you can go read the
also-
entire top 20 where there is criteria laid out on flamesnation.ca.
And this guy votes on league
Yeah.
awards.
Yeah, he had Wolf second on his Calder
And
belt.
he's got a wrench beside his name.
Monster wrench. Let's go to, it's AJ Greer won the cup. We talked a lot about Sam Bennett, a lot about Matthew Tkachuk. No one's talking about Forever Flame AJ Greer, who,
Are Bennett and Kachuk on that drafted?
well, there's 7 days left. I would expect both of them.
Both pretty good draft picks.
Kachuk was 10, wasn't he?
Tkachuk was 6, right after Ole Juolevi and Jesse Puljujarvi. Thank you, Edmonton and Vancouver.
No, he was 10 on Pike's list.
Oh, okay. Yes,
I
he
thought we
was.
showed
Yeah,
that the other
yeah,
day.
You're right. He was tough.
This is a terrible list.
Rhett's top 5 coming out tomorrow on FlamesNation.ca. Here's AJ Greer, who the Flames loved, but he broke his leg and Probably could have traded him or re-signed him, but then he was a guy with a broken leg. He's better now, and he's having a good time in Florida. Got a catchy ring to it. I can't hear early. Is he saying fight the Oilers? Because the fans were doing that on their own.
Thank the Oilers. for
Thank
It's
you.
not very good
competition.
sports.
It was
Now, to be
thank
fair-
the Oilers for good competition.
Yeah.
What hour of drinking is this? 42, 38? It's been a shift here for AJ. Congrats. Yeah, he liked it. He caught on.
Oh,
Chance starter.
it's brilliant.
He was a great fourth liner here. We scored a bunch of goals. We're like, who is this? AJ Greer off waivers
I
from
don't
Boston.
remember that
He's
he
a
played.
player. Keep moving. He's not the only guy having a good time. We showed you yesterday the Marchand in 2011. He's still got it, boys. Now, the key to a bender is staying hydrated. I'm not worried about Marshy here. He's got the cup, which is filled with a fluid, I'm sure. He's got the stogie going. That's going to dry you out. Coffee for a little energy. He's got the spiked iced tea and the elbow beer going. The greats make it look easy, Dean.
Yeah, the elbow beer. I didn't see it at first. I was like, what has he got? Like a swollen elbow, but there is a beer can being
It looks
pressed
like
between his elbow and his
a
midriff.
Mexican lager tucked under the elbow there. That's beautiful stuff.
Looks terrible out there. I don't know if those trees in the background.
Yeah, I'd be staying in Edmonton too, Connor.
Huh?
Let's keep moving. There's other teams. Sasha Barkov was a great player all year, but played through this in the Stanley Cup final and playoffs. Holy. That's where you hold your stick, right?
Did he dive naked onto a table and cut himself on the?
In Chicago. And
That was you.
luckily there was a doctor in the restaurant.
CTE again. Dang it.
Flashbacks.
Next,
Jesus.
what else have we got, Jack? Well, here's the thing. So in Florida, there was the palm trees and the blue skies. This is somewhere in northern Alberta, as the attire might lead you to believe. I'm sure there's some Affliction t-shirts and white sunglasses around. Let's take a peek at the final moments.
56 seconds left. Fucking kidding me.
It's a solar panel.
Hey, you know what though? Safety first. Unlike a lot of these videos, look beside the barbecue as it rolls on here. Fire extinguisher,
Oh, good.
right?
That is true. Right by the fire, the grill. Yeah. Now the guy on the camera is actually kind of chuckling. Is he not seeing the Oilers fans beating on Oilers fans thing? Don't be laughing at Oilers fans when this stuff's
I
happening.
don't know.
Take a right.
56 seconds left. Fucking kidding me.
He had a golf club around
I can hardly see him with that camouflage hat. Anyway, we're sure that's an Oilers fan, right? And here's the thing. They were doing their thing in Florida. The Oilers are doing their thing in Edmonton. They got
TVs
their
are
exit
cheap
meetings
now.
today.
I was going to say it's out about
And-
80 bucks there.
Everyone's got their own cup.
I like this one. I like this. That's what you deserve. Celebrate.
Oh, boy.
I should be more understanding. I've gone through it 3 times myself. That's my bridesmaid right there.
Oh, dear. What kind of a slump buster do we need? You got him.
I should be more understanding. You really should.
I should wait. Oh,
I mean, if anyone would know the pain that
yeah. This is just a self-preservation thing.
So she's going through it right now, is what you're saying. She's having a tough run.
Everyone out there is going through it except for Bill.
Bill,
Yeah, Bill's
Bill,
good.
don't be such a creep. Where's your other hand, Bill?
Jesus, Bill. Oilers did some business yesterday. They've locked up Trent Frederic, who they added for a second plus ahead of the deadline from Boston to an 8-year extension. Andy Strickland reporting it's around 4. We're hearing
Does
reports
Andy Strickland
elsewhere.
work for the team? How do you have a hashtag Let's Go Oilers? Is that what it's
That's
called?
how Twitter works. It's kind of annoying. You put hashtag things and then it shows up as that sort of topic. And
It's so lame, the social media BS. Oh
yeah,
my
it's tough,
God.
isn't it? So either way, Frederic not leaving Edmonton. He's got probably around 30 million reasons to stay.
Well, then Connor should too.
It's going to take more than 30 for him, though. Ryan Donato also inked the deal. He scored 31 goals compared to Frederic's 15 points. He's actually going to sign for 4 even for 4 years. Interesting case. Chicago, no depth. He has been a depth guy. Pops for 31 goals. He's 29. All right. Staying in Chicago. He doesn't want to leave either. Everyone's doing business now that the Cup's done. In fact, the Dallas Stars, who have a cap pinch of their own, have locked in one of the only good centers on the free agent market, Matt Duchene. He's 34, 82 points and 30 goals this year. Excellent year. Playoffs not as
How
good.
old is he?
34.
How old's McDavid?
29, I believe.
I would
This
have thought there'd
coming up.
more gap there. But okay.
Duchene's deal is a 4 times 4.5, but Frank's got some news here. Less than 50 grand in cap space left for the Stars. They still need to fill another, 5 roster spots. And of course, the speculation is swirling around Jason Robertson's future there after they inked Mikko Rantanen after the trade. Thomas Harley has yet to lock into a long-term deal. 2 more years on Seguin. Ben's up.
Yeah,
Maverick
If
Bork's
old
an
Jim
RFA that
Mills
needs a new
screws
deal.
this up, he's gone from superstar GM to clown.
Getting Rantanen we like, but there are capital implications for sure when you hand out.
They're in their window to win.
I'd say so. I'd say Erasmus Anderson away. Come on now. Come on. Maverick Bork firsts. Let's go. Something more than a second rounder that you got for Tanev. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Calgary Surge are in action tonight, but if you go to Winsport, they won't be there. They're playing in Red Deer, Deer Rouge. It's a Battle of Alberta. The Edmonton
Rouge.
Stingers against the Calgary Surge in Deer Rouge. 7:30 tonight at the MC Hammer Centrium, or whatever it's called there.
I went and saw him in concert. Wow, what a show.
Oh, did you? He came to Saddledome, didn't he? Too legit.
Saskatoon.
Too legit to quit. Hey, hey. Although, stop. It's Hammer time. That's the banger. Westerner Park Centrium.
God damn right.
I think the Sutter guys might be going. They're not far from there, are they? Right there. LA Lakers are selling.
Sutters are not. I don't know.
It's coming up. Don't worry. There's a payoff later. Just going to ask them, Jack, but thank you. $10 billion for the Lakers. It's the highest tag on the sale of a franchise ever in any sport on any planet we've met.
Yeah.
And are they retained? I saw it like 15% retention of ownership.
Whew. So, yeah, essentially they're going to sell
It's not
for
very attractive.
8.5. What do you say there?
What are you doing?
I'm changing the subject.
Oh,
You said that the salary, the amount of money is very attractive.
It's attractive.
it's an
Yeah,
attractive.
She found it attractive.
Jeannie
Figure.
Buss, her old man bought it for $67 million back in the 80s. A lot of dough back there.
See, that's a great story. And even if you could kind of track that, I'm not in a position right now anyway to spend $67 million on a sports team.
Yeah, and if you were in
So
the
even
80s,
if you knew this, hey, if you can come up with $67 million,
It's all yours.
we'll turn this into $10 billion in a couple decades.
we're going to get you $10 billion. Shit.
talk to someone about a loan, maybe.
Yeah.
Good for them.
A lot of dough.
Are you crazy? We can't lend you $6.7 million.
No,
Oh,
67.
So I can't
Put the decimal in the wrong spot. Sorry, I
I'll
need
just-
67.
show myself out.
Jack's boy, Shadur Sanders. Remember he
Yeah.
slid in the draft? Yikes, that's fast. 101 miles an hour
It's
early
late.
Tuesday.
He was late.
He was trying to race home and make curvy, right, Jack?
It's not that fast.
160 kilometers an hour. It does kind of, is there some Manziel 2.0 vibes here? Like just show up and work hard.
It's only
Don't be an idiot.
Manziel 2.0 vibes because you keep showing shit like this. This guy. If he wants to drive fast,
Just don't drive fast.
Kovalchuk drives fast. We don't give him shit.
He does. He had with the 180 speeding tickets.
Solani loved driving fast.
Yeah, he did. Maybe get a driver too. Maybe it's fun to just be in the car.
He's a rookie. He didn't have any money.
I just got plenty of money. Stamps unveiling a new trophy. They will play Saturday at 2, Family Day. But the big one this summer, the first ever of what will be an annual event, the Stampede Bowl, Thursday night before Stampede starts. They're hosting the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
I like it.
And we got a trophy for it.
What?
Let's check it out.
Look at this.
Private security.
Why isn't this you and me? Like, why aren't we the ones getting off the PJ?
Oh, it's Jay McNeil. Rez.
Has he got the gloves on?
Oh,
This is
Shiny.
good anticipation here.
Oh,
look at
little glimpse there.
July 3rd, we are going to make CFL history together.
Look at this.
I like it.
Well, and here's the thing. Some people love Stampede. Some people don't. I, for one, like to stay in and remain away from the crowds and social activities. But for those that do enjoy going out and celebrating our great summers in this fair city with many of the world visiting, there is an opportunity to watch CFL football the Thursday night at McMahon Stadium as they host the Blue Bombers.
I'm going to recreate my sorrow in honor of the Oilers. I'm going to recreate my sorrow from the 04 loss.
Yeah.
That turned into I've drowned my sorrows during Stampede.
I see.
I made it through every day. I'm going to see if I can do it again in honor of
10 for 10, you want to go?
Yeah.
Well, this is sneak peek night. So you're going to actually mix 11 days in if you go to
I
this
know,
one.
and then they added that bull busting.
That's all.
Jesus.
You know what? It's a great idea. I don't know.
Fantastic idea.
Lean into it.
They've always stayed away from Stampede. You're like, why? You know, when people are here that
Yeah,
are
there's
like,
a lot of people.
it was the same people that are like, oh, you can't put an NHL team in Vegas. There's too much going on. I'm like, people go to Vegas to do stuff. People are in town to Stampede to do things. Yeah. And now we got a football game to
You got
showcase.
a town full of Pinders that week. You got to.
Oh, God.
Let's go.
There's a lot of high kicking.
You're a hunkerer, all right.
Hunkerer down.
Hunkerer downer.
Jack, you better book some vacation that week or you're dead.
Take some time off, Jack. You work so hard. So hard.
Should I take some time?
Oh,
Take some time, buddy.
Yeah. Except we need you to work.
No, okay.
Adrian Peterson, he must have been in Edmonton at a card tournament because things got a little bit physical when I don't know if he got the wrong card on the river. Remember the excellent running back? So he's at the far table here. And I think he's all in here, fellas, because the other guy looks like he's in trouble. TMZ Sports is on it, which means
you can't sit on 16 against the
Jeez.
Don't drive anyone.
You got to throw a teep in there, front kick, set it back.
You got to hit.
Look at this. Look at him dancing. Oh, yeah.
Dancing's fun. Wait till you get caught, though. That's. Oh boy.
These are guys that have never fought. That guy's got a hoodie on. You just got to grab the back of it.
You got to get that hoodie off.
Control.
That's where AP starts the lawnmower here. The other guy's in big trouble. Oof.
I got into a fight once with a hoodie or
Not
like
good.
a bigger sweater.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Need the tie downs. So it must have just been 2 Oilers fans. That's how it goes. Best of luck to AP in the rest of that tournament if he's still allowed to play and next year. Remember the boss, that big old bear that screws all the other bears in the mountains?
The reproducer?
Yeah. Like, this is from Kananaskis yesterday. I don't know if this is the boss, but if this isn't, the boss is bigger than this. And that's crazy.
That's not the boss.
Hoo-wee. That is a big boy. Now, was that Mount Lorette?
Who's that big boy? Who's that big boy?
Look at the length.
Who's that good fella?
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a
Grizz, fellas.
It's a sizable animal.
Woo.
That's an apex
Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
It's good that you didn't break that collarbone because
Stop hitting him.
I could hit that one. I'd feel bad if it was your other.
From the boss to a boss move. I've never seen these before. Apparently, there's a thing now. Let's dive into the fridge, Jack. Baked bean slices.
Terrible.
In or out?
No.
Coagulated beans, not it for you?
No.
I'm going to pass as well. Jack, in or out? You're in your 20s. You're trying to save dough on meals?
Out.
Okay.
That's horrible.
Sorry. We have a world record breaking cliff jump, which is always a staple of the Pinder Report.
Ow.
This is 42.5 meters.
17 feet.
Other way.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll help.
You got to get pumped up.
Yep, a little more.
Australia, mate. Why
That's
is it
where
always
they ski, the Blue Mountains.
this is Aussie guy? Always the crazy stuff done by Aussie guy.
Well, it's not that
Look
they're
how long it
crazy,
takes this
it's
rock
the-
to go.
It's the intelligence level that's not high. You could die doing this, Dean.
Quite easy. Look how tall the trees are. They're like little toothpicks below them.
Oh,
One, two, three, four.
I don't know if he lands
I
correctly.
don't know. That's your point of entry you want.
I think you want a more vertical, Dean, less horizontal.
Popped eardrum,
Yeah.
probably some ribs, and just the
Well, it looks
body
like
glove slap all over his
the
butt.
nice part is it looks like an easy locale to get to safety and out of.
Yeah.
There are two people there with
And
Regardless,
winner.
so much
World record
in terms of the dollars for winning.
yes.
He is now the
A
best in the
huge
world.
What did he
Cash
get
prize.
Until tomorrow when someone puts a 2-foot ladder at that same spot and breaks his record, because there's no shortage of
paid?
Aussie
And
dudes in
hopefully
Australia.
lands it better. I don't think he put in. I think he lost his marbles halfway through the fall. He forgot to go vertical.
I'd understand that if you fainted mid-fall, it's just too much. Ooh.
Or
Yeah, I've never
maybe
seen
we're
the
wrong.
the log roll style. That doesn't seem like a winner.
Maybe the water spins off you.
Finally,
So
yesterday.
this is why you were on social media.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
How else would I know about that world record that was set yesterday in the Blue Mountains?
Baked bean slices.
Yeah.
Delicious.
One more. Go ahead, Ryan.
Adrian Peterson fighting.
Yeah.
We were out at Strathmore yesterday. Look at this. Mark from Origin got this photo off a potato and sent it to us. That indeed is Daryl Sutter on the left. And who's that good-looking fella with the long arms and the mullet on the right?
Loved my Stapleton.
Yeah, people
I
like the
bet he did.
Stapleton.
Loved my
too.
Stapleton jersey.
We're happy with that.
Oh,
There's also some guy collecting bottles as well.
Some guy ruining your photo.
You definitely make sure to get one before I ruin the next one. So congrats to
How's Big D?
Big
he's
D's great.
great.
Chris was pissed off yesterday. It was raining. Ball practice was canceled.
Aw, man.
Not happy. Not happy.
Would Chris have been cheering for Florida? I think he would have.
I don't know.
It's a good question. Daryl's in great spirits. Richie and Ron were there, amongst other Sutters. You lose track. There's
Yeah,
just
we were
so
talking
many
to
Sutters.
Richie. He was like, he's just happy that the Oilers don't need to win.
No, he was very excited.
Some Florida tie-ins there with some of the boys.
Mhm.
Great
Dwayne
day out
was
there. A
out
little bit
there.
of rain after everyone played through, and it was a lot of sunshine at the end of the day, despite all the chaos here. So big shout out to our pals at Origin.
And Kaya.
Kaya and Olivia, who worked their tent while we sat in the sun. Origin beer. Delicious.
I didn't see you.
I was there.
I know you were there.
Didn't see you either.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
didn't
I
see
saw
me.
both of you.
Huh.
Didn't see you.
Weird how that works.
Yeah.
Back to you, Dean. That's your Pinder Report for Thursday, June 19th, 2025.
Thank you, Ryan. Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. Pre-owned, new, MSRP for new vehicle pricing. Check out the new Passport, the Ridgeline,
Don't even go near
the
my
CRVs.
vehicle.
They're excited up there. They've gone a long time as the products. Took a long time.
COVID, manufacturing, chips.
They were
Tariffs, Scott.
selling a lot of vehicles, but they were kind of sold before they even hit the lot. Now you go out, they've got a
Look at
huge
'em.
selection.
Get in them.
Good time. I just want to say congratulations to Mike Boulder, who buddy of mine, was my kid's high school principal at All Saints High School. Been doing it forever. I think 93, 94.
Oh, God.
That's a full shift.
He was doing like not just there, but as a high school principal
I
and all
know
that
what
sort
you're
of thing.
saying.
And the fact that my oldest graduated and my second is in line to do so next year, no small feat.
What an accomplishment.
I'm not saying that Mike Boulder worked the system or that there's anything to
Politics.
see
side.
here.
See here.
Just give me a
But
shout
I
out on the
have-
show and we'll get them through.
Yeah, I am projected to have 2 high school graduates by the end of next school year,
Oh, baby.
and in no small effort due to him.
Attaboy, MB.
So congratulations on your retirement. It was at the apparently he's had many at like a golf event and a dinner and all this sort of thing. It's a big deal. It was at the school yesterday, and they had some bamboo rum. They had drinks and food going. So it's kind of weird having booze in the high school. He's like, it's not as rare as you might think.
I was sipping on this for the last 30
Probably
years.
just got him in trouble. He
Teachers,
just lost
students,
his
there's
pension.
a lot of drinking going on.
Need Peter Klein now.
All right, kid, get out of my office.
He's a good boy.
Glug, glug.
Yeah, he's a good boy. I guess I can segue into this. A message from the Alberta Teachers Association. Alberta spends the least per student on public education in Canada, leaving schools underfunded and in crisis. Overcrowded classrooms, unmet student needs, and dwindling supports are driving record numbers of teachers to leave the profession. As Albertans, we cannot ignore this neglect. Our children deserve better. It's time to act, advocate for increased funding, and demand answers from your MLA. Why does Alberta invest the least in its students? The excuses must stop. Stand up for our schools, support our educators, and help ensure every child has the opportunity to succeed. The future of education in Alberta depends on it. For more information, visit stoptheexcuses.ca. Did you get any indication from Big D, old D-Suts? Is he done coaching, or is there a situation
Rhett
that
had
exists?
longer chats with him. I'm sure Rhett would be in a better
Or
position
maybe-
to answer that.
Maybe a guy could
I
get
had-
back behind the bench.
I think he had a duck lid on, and he's been doing some senior advisor type stuff. I think it was the Ducks. I could be crazy.
Boys, but is with that. Is he still there though? Bob Murray's not there.
Bob was. Maybe that was the old.
That's
gear.
what it was before.
Yeah, that's right.
He had a King's shirt.
Yeah.
Jacket.
I'm sure you don't.
I didn't ask him about the coaching. I asked about his kid coach.
Yeah, Brett's obviously spent some time with Calgary Wranglers as a player, captain, longtime AHL player, an incredible 1,000 games in the A, which is almost impossible. And then had all kinds of different coaching experience last year with all the turnover and the coaching guys up to Calgary and down. And then Trent calls there, and then he's not.
Yeah.
Not an easy job, man.
Brett's a good guy.
A lot of time on the road.
We saw some second gen Sutters there yesterday.
Yeah, Riley was there. So
Yeah.
There's too many gens of those.
Is there too many?
Oof. Well, not too many, but there's more and more and more. Them boys that all played in the NHL, the brothers that all played in the NHL, they're grandpas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Good dudes.
Yeah.
And Rich and Ron heading over to Philly in the near future here.
Today.
Good
Yeah.
alumni event. That'll be fun.
Going today.
I was like, are you going to Philly? He's like, we already checked the schedule. We missed them by a day. It's like, oh, gosh. That'd be fun to go Philly skiing. But they'll find things to do.
I'm sure they will. Yeah. Yeah.
Good to see the fellas.
Well, pizza was great, Jack. Appreciate
thanks for
it
that.
again.
Good pie.
Nice stuff. You're
Bet
the worst-
365.
You're the worst sort of tease.
Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet 365. Download the app, get in on the game. Use the code NATION when you sign up. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Responsibly.
Jason Action matinee today. Don't sleep on this one. I think first pitch coming up in about an hour.
Don't sleep.
Kevin Gosman on the bump. He's hit 6 strikeouts or more in 5 of his last 6. We're going to get greedy to juice the number. Plus 150 to get to 7 strikeouts. And Vladdy's been on an absolute heater. We're going to chase 4 total bases today at a big number. Plus 320. A home run would do it. A couple doubles. He's either getting walked or intentionally walked or ramming doubles, singles, and home runs right now. Ride him while he's hot. Those are my bets. They could also be yours if you'd like at Bet365.
There you have it. Play responsibly.
Matinee.
Download the app. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we've got some, yesterday was a very good day for the youth centers of Calgary. Very generous donations pouring in on the YouTube chat today. No different.
What a
Maybe
week for the kids.
Even more so. Great news for the kids and the youth centers of Calgary. As we get to it, there's Daniel.
Well done.
Daniel. Rhett, what's your favorite George Strait song?
That's tough. That's a guy's favorite kids for some people.
Where the streets have no name.
That's not-
God, is that catchy.
It's so
And
good.
everyone knows
They
that one.
play it loud. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you want to tell everyone about the presentation that was made before the show this morning? As Rhett had an honorary item for Jack.
Well, it's kind of how that the pizza remarks
Pull
tie
back
in.
the curtain here.
Rhett last week was leaving to go to Buffalo to watch George Strait in concert. Chris Stapleton as well. And Jack, being the sweet boy that he is, hey, Rhett, do you think you could get me a George Strait t-shirt, a concert shirt? I've always wanted one and I've never gotten one. And then you said, Jack, can you get me 4 pizzas?
Wow.
What is this, Rhett Fashion Week?
Yeah, you got to be by your phone. It's not Rhett Fashion Week.
I hope you like this shirt.
I love the shirt. Thank you.
But today,
All right,
presentation was made.
Yeah, it's not Jack's Kitchen, so you got to tell me which pizza you want, and I'll order them.
I want to
Pizza
see
Day tomorrow. Pizza Day Monday.
all you pizza people out there. We're talking to you. We love you all. We got to go somewhere local because it's a delivery.
That's right, yeah.
I can go down
Yeah.
where I live. Yeah, okay. But then by the time it's here, it's a pain in the ass. There's a place called Spiro's down the street over here. If anyone knows the folks at Spiro's,
Like to open up
you
a
tell them,
floor.
no, I'll make a couple pizzas in the morning.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to provide any shameless plugs for free
Just saying,
pizza.
If you guys could put an extra
above
6
that.
or 8 hours into your workday
Well,
so we can have
somebody's
pizza.
in there anyway. You turn the pizza oven on.
Can't
Yeah.
be that hard, right?
What does it sound like? Right.
That's bubbling cheese.
Thanks, Daniel. Where the streets have no name.
Troubadour or Good Time, whatever.
That's Alan Jackson. What was the first one?
Troubadour.
Troubadour.
It's not Alan Jackson.
Having a good time?
No, not. That's not the name of the song, but it
I'll
has.
help you.
We're here for a good time.
Here for a good time's a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
So don't ever question my George
We're
Strait.
having a good time.
Alan
That's
Jackson.
Where the
all right.
streets have no names.
The
Dean.
streets have no name. Number 1. Rhett's top 5.
Top-
Baby Got Back, one of my favorite George Strait songs.
Thank you, Daniel. Handsome Dan's
Oh,
vacation
my
rental. $500.
What the heck's
It's our
going
busy
on
season
here?
too.
Wow.
Dan
Oh, yeah.
says, it's my busy season, so I won't be on much. I wanted to say thank you, boys, for the entertainment. Thanks, Jack, for keeping the chat in line, and thank you to the good people in the chat. You know who you are. The candy bracket was fun, and I look forward to doing more sponsorships with you next year. Let me know when I can donate to the silent auction.
Oh, that's right.
Jack will be texting Handsome Dance. You can donate to the silent pizza auction.
That's right.
Yeah, there's the Jack
Yeah.
supporting Jack's Pizza
Here's my,
It's a charity.
just put it to my email address.
Jack likes pizza at pizza.com.
Dan was one of our sponsors, came on board for the candy bracket, and he has been donating throughout the season with Dustin Wolf wins and then the playoffs and all of that. So a good guy, a great fan, a good Samaritan,
Heck yeah.
very
And
generous.
also, if you're
And
going
if
on
he-
vacation and need
Yeah.
a place to stay,
Jeez.
Handsome
this is
Dan
simple.
.ca.
Yeah. And he's saying for the auction, of course, every Christmas we do a big fundraiser. I know Rhett would love to throw a couple shekels into the auction for a little fishing.
I love
vacation
sheckling.
out west.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Handsome Dan. Love you.
very generous.
Scott,
Scotty.
listened to Oilers Nation yesterday. What a bunch of delusional homers. Danced around the issues and bad takes. You guys are the goats on Nation.
We should
You're
get
not
some
wrong.
goat shirts.
Eh,
Yeah,
There has been known to have, there's been some bleeding
we're good
from time to
bleeders.
time.
Rhett in February.
January.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Appreciate that.
Preach.
Nathan, $5. I think the Oilers need a goalie with an above 900 playoff save percentage more than anything.
I don't know where you get off saying something like that, Nathan, but you paid to put it out there, so I guess.
Is Connor playing that? He's probably good,
900.
but it's a high bar.
Yeah. Interesting point, Nathan. We'll let them know up there. The delusional homers. We'll pass it along to our fellas up there. Michael, 699. Shout out to my sister Carissa, who is a loyal barn burner listener and is celebrating a partner's victory and her
Panthers.
29th birthday today.
Panthers victory. Yes.
20.
God bless her.
What did I say? Panthers victory. Sorry. And a 20. Well,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. to you.
Chrissa,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, and I'm glad the Panthers brought it home
Happy
for you.
birthday to you. I don't know if we want to set that standard.
Did we sing? It's for the kids,
For the
right?
kids.
All right, good.
Dance, monkey dance. Oh,
Oh,
boy, she's
jeez, come on, David.
Come on.
How did David just?
That wasn't even money.
How did that even come up there?
He hacked
Is
into
he
the
hacked in?
system.
Do we got
Bots?
hackers again? We got bots?
Friggin' bots?
Jack. Oh, boy.
Is that it, Jack?
Can't even have a birthday without being
That's
creeped
all
on in the
That's
chat.
Jack, how was the show today?
Once again, Dean, great show.
We're on a heater.
Noodles is really good.
I love arguing with Noodles.
Yeah, it was
Poor
a lot of
Noodles just
arguing.
backpedaling. Jesus Christ.
He
He's
wasn't
He did a good
backpedaling.
job.
He coming right in.
He's like that guy at the poker room with AP.
Yeah, he found reverse pretty quick.
Noodles, get your hoodie off. It's not going to end well. I'm not here
Sure.
tomorrow. Sorry.
Hey, take the day off.
Yeah.
It's the last Friday in June.
Almost. It's last
So-
Friday of the week. I know that.
So no boom,
No boom.
but also no dregs. So I'm sorry.
And Jovo's ignoring me.
Yeah, we're out to
Yeah.
Jovo Cup, but that apparently he's lost rat numbers too.
Yeah.
New phone. Who dis?
Why do people not like me?
I think everyone loves you. That's all I heard at the
That's
golf
not
course
true.
yesterday.
That's true.
No one said a nasty thing about you after
Really?
Dean left. Yeah.
No one shit talked me behind my back. Huh. It's too bad.
Different layers of shit talk, I guess.
Apologize for some of my harsh comments today. I was just
Yeah.
What about the kids that
trying
are
to
watching?
bring you like right into the locker room, like we're talking tough.
Yeah. Well, we have it on good authority that ownership of the Flames is a regular viewer
Big fans
of the show.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Wonder why we can't.
Go full screen on red just for 1 second here, Jack.
Do you want to talk to the cameras or anything you want to say?
Sir.
Murray,
Oh, geez.
Paul,
I take it back. Can I take it all back?
Sometimes
Jeez,
you
gosh.
say things. If you could go to the tweet from Mackenzie Weegar and just refer to that in
Yeah.
any
We've been doing this
instances
for
where you're upset.
A lot of CTE, Murray. It's not his fault.
Tried to play through it.
Really worked hard for you.
It's doing it for you.
Do you want all 3 years of it taken back or just some?
There's a show before that too. It's
Yeah.
a lot of years.
It's tough. Anyway,
They didn't
that's-
hire you though after that year.
I think it had to do with Conroy and his stupid roast, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, I feel like maybe that's when it started to turn a little bit. Ah,
Don't bring your kids to a roast.
What are you
It's not
doing,
that
Pete?
complicated.
What are you-
don't come to a roast with,
Oh no, they're
you
gonna.
can
That was
say whatever you
offensive.
want, but don't say that.
yeah, and there's going to be some old sensitive birds in the crowd. So keep that in mind. Well, it's not a roast then. Now it's just a gala.
But he's the GM, not me.
Murray or Connie?
If you
Okay,
haven't,
come.
we had the sit down with Craig Conroy. It's on our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, I'll say this, and we haven't run many of the clips, which is probably our fault,
It's out there on the socials.
but it is out there. If you as a fan are kind of caught in the middle, it's like strip it down. I want high picks. It's like, well, geez, if he's available, I wouldn't mind.
96
Owen
points.
Byram, is he
tiebreaker.
available? I could probably do
Jeez.
it. Trade Anderson. Oh boy, big game hunting in the free agency this summer. I'd be okay. Get Marner.
Nikolai Ehlers can fly. Jeez.
I feel like that's some of the conundrums that they are also facing behind closed doors. Well, we have a lot of cap space. Could we go after some big names? Yes, we could. We were close to getting into the playoffs. Chip in the chair, we get in. Who knows? Could make some noise. Wolf's real good. Yes, he
yeah,
is.
he is. Yeah, he'd be another team that's problems because he's a goalie. Have
We've missed the playoffs, and we don't score hardly at all. So we should probably
tear it down.
tear it down. We got some older players who are aging quickly. Maybe we should. Yeah, that's probably a
One
good
step
idea.
back,
too.
2 step
Yeah,
forward.
That's probably a good idea.
A lot of that.
Yeah. So not ideal.
If I think the safe way to position where they are doesn't feel like they're super close to winning the cup, nor picking first overall.
You know what it is? And I'll speak for myself, but there may be, you know what? I need to start eating better, exercising.
No, but you do that.
It's going to make me feel better. You're right. Good idea. I'm starving. Pizza and wings.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Pizza and wings it is.
I'll start
do
tomorrow.
that on Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
tomorrow
definitely.
we'll start that.
Yeah. That's a
Wait till
great idea.
Monday.
Good luck
Why
with
is
your,
it chip in a chair? What's that mean?
that's a poker reference.
If you're at the poker table, as long as you've got it,
you're not
still at the
dead.
table.
Yeah.
Well, we're big poker guys.
Daryl,
Me and
that's-
AP.
Daryl will tell you about Chip in the chair. They're an 8 seed the year they won the cup.
Well, even the Panthers this year, road team all 4 rounds, right?
Well, the year they lost in the final, they had less points than the Flames and needed a loss from another team in game 82 to get in.
No, we're just saying things.
Chip in a chair. See you tomorrow.
What else was it?
You don't want to go because you're taking tomorrow off. You feel guilty for
drag it on.
just
Just hungry.
No, I carry this fucking show. There's no guilt.
All right, don't tune in tomorrow, folks.
Nobody jumps in front of vehicles like you, Dean.
For the team. Glad your collarbone's feeling better.
It was my quiet riot shirt.
Yeah.
Come on, feel the noise from the metal.
Now that
See you, buddies.